JJ, I'm early. You can't get the backwood. I'm done. Love you asked me that. Fam, hey, this is pretty much like part 3 of the Flying Coach podcast. Kyle Shanahan. We find out Kyle Shanahan nearly canceled the interview with the 49ers for the head coaching job. It's amazing how much we found out in as late as just a few days ago. These are things that, what if we would have found out in 2017? We weren't ready for that because we were already saying, oh my God, is he gonna be our coach or what, man? Why doesn't he just go in? Oh God, he's in the Super Bowl. We gotta wait until after the Super Bowl. You know, we were going nuts, right? So if he would have got, oh man, let me just, early during the Niners 2017 season when everything was in question, immediately after Jed York fired Chippy Kelly and Trent Baalke, the team was basically in refugee mode. Yeah, we didn't have no home. I mean, we didn't have no leader. We were just out there. Everybody already got their coach already. We were saying, damn, he's gone. Damn, he's gone. And everybody knows McDaniels, man, he will never leave his uncle. He will be with Belichick until Belichick, he thinks he's going to get the Patriots. Never mind. But Kyle Shanahan was a popular choice, but the NinerFaithful was made to wait. A point of a frightening position on the NFL calendar. When Shanahan finally agreed to take over in San Francisco, there was really nobody interesting, not really left or available. I mean, there might have been a couple of college coaches they could have shot at or something like that. But the choices were slim at that point, right? Every red and gold faithful would breathe a sigh of relief. And the team was set with a coach that everyone knew was going to make a difference. Kyle Shanahan! We are Shanahan! He was ready. Little did we know, though, or the team for that matter, know at that time, however, is that Coach Shanahan contemplated not even showing up for the interview for San Francisco. We'll be talking about that in this evening's program. Also tonight, taking your phone calls for your current take on Coach Shanahan's presence with the Niners. After 4 years, do you have a grade? Also, if not Shanahan as head coach, do you now or did you ever have another presence? Because, you know, like we do, anytime something goes south, we start firing and getting rid of people. And I think it was as early as the second year that people were yelling and screaming, Shanahan don't win this year, he's out of here. And of course, they would end up going to the Super Bowl. But the thing is, you wonder the reasons for that were what? And could another coach have done that, or was that specifically due to Shanahan and the crew? It's an intriguing question. Let me just jump right into this. Coach Kyle Shanahan has been the head coach of the Niners for the last 4 seasons. What we're just now finding out is that Shanahan nearly scrapped an interview with the team while he was getting multiple requests while the OC of the Falcons in the lead up to their Super Bowl appearance at the end of the 2016 season. You know what I don't remember? Who else was going back and forth with Shanahan? Because I think we may have won that whole thing because everybody else said, man, we're out of time. Shanahan being in that Super Bowl may have been instrumental in us getting him. You know what I mean? Because everybody else is starting to freak out and they went and got whatever coach they could find. I mean, we're talking February. The draft is coming up. And remember, our guy, and Lynch and Shanahan came hustling into the draft, not as fully prepared as they probably would have liked to been, but they you know, let me not talk about the 2017 draft. That's a sore spot, isn't it? We got George Kittle that year, though, and DJ Jones. Who else? Because Ruben and never mind. But Coach literally, and in that now incredibly famous interview with Rams coach Sean McVay and GMFB co-host Peter Schrager on his side project, The Flying Coach, Shanahan said he was close to canceling his scheduled interview with the 49ers. Now, he is quoted saying, and I almost canceled one just because I was so exhausted. And I almost canceled San Francisco. The reason being, it had nothing to do with San Francisco. It was just my whole goal in life was to be a head coach and stay a head coach. It wasn't just to become one and say I got there, unquote. Shanahan looked at the situation with the Niners that had no clear path ahead at quarterback and a team that ranked at the bottom of the league on both sides of the ball in 2016. Shanahan went on to say, quote, "So when I looked at San Francisco, I was nervous because they didn't have that setup. And they had changed coaches 3 years in a row." Oh, he was right. We were as Raider fans and Rams fans and Hawks fans were getting all over us and saying things like, "You guys are a freaking bonfire. You're garbage. You're a dumpster fire, man. Stop talking to me." You know, everybody was superior to us. And they were. We were garbage. We didn't have nothing going on. And look, the future looked as dark as midnight. That's right. As I say, the offense was ranked 31st. Defense was ranked 32nd. It wasn't the best situation, unquote. Fortunately, Shanahan kept the interview and found agreement from Jed York and Parag Marathi on the issues the team faced and the way they intended to address those shortcomings, which is what got Shanahan going. He went on to explain, quote, "My wife asked me which team I liked the most. I'm like, actually, the Niners is the only one I really feel good about." And it shocked her because she knew how I talked the morning before. That hasn't been revealed. What was Shanny saying the morning before to wifey? Also helped that the Niners gave Shanahan all the conditions he wanted to accept the job, which included, say, on who the general manager would be and contract length. And the rest is, as they say, history. Fam, here's the thing. Remember Josh McDaniels? He was a candidate, and actually there was a lot of us that wanted Josh McDaniel. I was always a hardcore Shanahan guy because I just thought his brilliance out there was like something amazing. I thought McDaniels, I said, I wonder, McDaniels already went to Denver and failed, and if he didn't have Tom Brady and also that supporting cast that Brady had and Belichick running the defense, would he be as effective? So I'm a little worried about him and a team that's starting from scratch. And as he was the alternative to Kyle Shanahan. Something else, though. Remember, Jed was going through the motions with plenty of interviews daily while being aware of Coach Shanahan, being involved with the Falcons and participating in Super Bowl 51. Jed had already made up his mind about Kyle and pretty much was saying he didn't want Kyle years ago. And this is what killed me at that time, too. I said, damn, what if Harbaugh had Kyle as his OC? Oh, shit. Fam, if Kyle hadn't become a head coach, and Harbaugh and Shanahan could have just decided to stay together like so many duos do in history for any length of time. What if Shanahan would have stayed with Harbaugh from 2014, get rid of Roman, from 2014 until now? What are the odds of the 49ers not having at least 2 Lombardis? Because now you've got you've got Harbaugh with his ability to communicate with the troops. You got Shanahan with his expertise on how to demolish a defense. We had the talent. And in fact, if you allowed Shanahan to do some of the things that he wanted to do as far as drafting, offensively particularly, oh my God, wow. But that didn't happen. But Jed already made up his mind about Kyle and was willing to wait for him to finish up in Atlanta. In fact, Sean McVay was almost immediately available that year after the 2016 season ended, remember? And Jed could have made a move to get him early on, just as the Rams did. Good shot by the Rams. I didn't really know that much about McVay other than he was coming over from Washington. I knew he'd work with Kyle, but I didn't know he was Kyle Jr. I mean, the question tonight is, are you feeling the same way now as you did when Kyle signed on with the Niners? If you appreciate the signing at that time or not, Or do you now wish the team would have went with McDaniels or beat the Rams to McVay? Or was there any other coach that you wanted and maybe you still do? Oh, God. Hey, Ray Jr., what's up? Brother, hey, this will be a season to remember, and don't let everyone discourage you. If they wasn't a part of it, at least they got to witness it. Boy, one thing I don't do is I do not get discouraged. I get mad and I get even. But it's not a good thing. I sometimes I go through periods I can chill out, but other times when I get challenged, then you bring out the wolf man. It's not even a full moon. Andrew Martinez, nice. Hey, thanks, Andrew. Reaper Cobra 96, what up? NG49 Ronbo, you early, bro. I know, right? We did it tonight. Matty, yes. Hey, Ronbo, shout out from beautiful Bend, Oregon, Matty. And Keyron Benefit Ronbo, you early today. Thanks. We try, we do. Let me get on over here. I'm going to go to San Pablo Avenue and check on into Shabazz Bakery. Shabazz! Shabazz. 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 Shabazz! Shabazz! Where you at, man? Give me some of that bean pie. He must be in the middle of it. All right, come back.
Ronbo.
There he is. Shabazz. Come on in, man.
What's going on, man? I'm just watching this interesting NBA Finals. And
I forgot about the NBA. I keep running this when the NBA is on. I shouldn't do that. But as I told you, the NBA ran me off after I saw, back in the day when I did not like LeBron. I still ain't crazy about him. But when LeBron could be 15 feet away from a man and the referee's blowing the whistle, I knew right then and there, okay, see, that's golden boy treatment. Didn't nobody touch LeBron?
Yeah.
What you talking about, ref? Y'all fixing this game, ain't you? I'm done.
Oh, so they ran you off there. So, but I told you I was going to check in. I said, let me check in. I was scrolling. I said, I see my boy Ronbo. And
Shabazz.
see the subject. And
appreciate it.
What we would have done, man, listen, I wanted Shanahan all the way like I told you before the draft. I'm getting who I want this draft. I called you and Ronbo. I told you who my man was. I said Trey Lance is my man, Ronbo. And if it's anything other than that, I'm going to need to go to surgery. I got what I wanted, Ronbo. I got what I wanted. I wanted Shanahan. Right when he blew that Super Bowl, I said, I'll forgive him. I just hope he don't do it with us. And I forgive him. I forgive him more than I forgive Harbaugh. It's funny you mentioned Harbaugh because I don't forgive Harbaugh for two reasons. And that that Super Bowl against the Ravens that we don't like to review, that one hurt way more than the Chiefs one because we came back to me, and that was our first loss. So none of us in the Empire had ever experienced loss in the Super Bowl. We was 5-0 at that time.
True.
Greg Roman yells to Kaepernick, run the read option. Okay? Ray Lewis is sucking for air. Harbaugh hears the call, and Harbaugh goes and calls a freaking timeout.
Yes, he was famous for his timeouts. Oh, my God.
Okay? You get that ball to Frank Gore, and Frank Gore going to run Ray Lewis over. Okay?
No doubt.
Kaepernick even back then would have kept it.
They weren't going to stop Frank from that close. Not with that stake on the line. That was the go-to. No. God, Jim! Come on, man.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Man. So, no, I don't want him after that. I'll take Shanahan, and we're going to run it back. And Shanahan know, like I told you again, I'm going to reiterate, our running backs is going to get 6.9, 6.8 to 7 yards a carry this season. You heard it here first.
That offensive line?
You heard it here first.
Man, no doubt. I believe that.
And why wouldn't you let a rookie game manage, okay, and win us the Super Bowl? Why not? I can see it happen. That's not far-fetched.
Well,
I'm not saying that it's just because I'm a fan. I'm saying that I'm using my logical brain, Ronbo.
Yeah,
As a man, we like to be logical and think logical. I don't want no pressure on him. Roethlisberger did it.
Yeah.
You got the run game to do it.
Yeah.
And you got him as a running threat. So now when we're in a third situation, a 3rd and 3 with less, versus our boy Jimmy in there, it's a 3rd and 1 because he can get 3 yards on a scramble. That's nothing. That's nothing. So we're going to be all right. But I prefer Shanahan, just to answer your question and not to digress from what the topic is. Give me Shanahan.
All right.
Give me that wizard. Give me OG Bobby Turner. Give me old school smash about football. And we're going to get 2 Super Bowls before this is over with. We're getting 2. We're getting 2. 2 of them shits is due. And Ronbo, guess what the next 3 Super Bowls is? They home games for your boy Shabazz. Los Angeles, home game. Phoenix, right here, home game. And Las Vegas. We're going to 2 out of the 3 of the next Super Bowls. I don't care what nobody says.
Did you say Phoenix? Is it?
Yeah,
is it
Phoenix.
The next is Phoenix?
Yep, Phoenix is after L.A. So, you know, that's a home game for me. I'll be right there, Ronbo.
All right,
I'll
Shabazz.
be right there, baby.
Yeah, and you could be the winning influence sitting up in the stands. So, you know.
You know I'm going to be in the building, Ronbo. I'm going to be in the building. It ain't going to never happen no more, and I ain't going to be there. I did that this last time.
Yeah.
Because my buddy had the suite, and he had everything for me against when we played Kansas City. And I said, no, I'll stay home, and I'll be with my daughter. I won't do that no more. Empire, I promise. We're not playing the next Super Bowl, and Shabazz won't be in the building. No, that's a no-no.
Shabazz.
That is a no-no.
Is that the next one? The next one's going to be a win. I don't care who's quarterbacking. The next one's going to be a win. Shanahan, everybody on that team has all the experience they need. They've seen it all. Like Sherm said, they was asking me all kind of questions after that Super Bowl, but in 2020, they ain't got to ask me no questions now. These boys is battle-tested and hardened. They ready. And then, of course, as you know, every other guy on the team went down, and we had 2020 along with COVID-19. You know, Shabazz, that's what burns me up, too. How evil is it that COVID-19 is already a problem, and then we go get injured on top of it? That was the 2020.
Yeah.
It will go down in my life. I will say, if anybody asks you, is there one year that you could have done without during your lifetime? 2020. My God, I could have done without 2020. I mean, most people probably say that.
And you and I both, Ronbo, and I thank good God Almighty, we survived and we're still here.
Yeah,
I survived COVID. And the first time they gave me that Rona was up in Seattle, Ronbo. I done had that Rona twice, man. Twice. So I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm still fighting.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't going to give up. And, hey, we going to get through it. And, hey, like I said, 2 of them do, Empire. We will win. And we will be out of these next 3 Super Bowls here on the West Coast. L.A., Phoenix, especially that one in Phoenix. Oh, man. I already visualize it. I'm already manifesting it. I can already see me hyped up, my jersey, my daughter here with me. I'm screaming in the stands. What we scream when we score, baby? What we scream? What do we scream when the 49ers score? You got to say it so everybody on Ronbo show can hear it for you. What do we say? Touchdown what? Touchdown 49ers. Baby.
Yes. I love her voice.
I'm raising these children right, Ronbo, and hey, keep doing what you do. Shout out to you. Shout out to my people down in Mississippi, Tennessee. Shout out to my boy Lee in SoCal. And, hey, shout out to the whole Empire.
Thanks, fam.
Bang,
Enjoy that game.
None again.
Shabazz, I'm looking forward to talking to you tomorrow night if you get some time. All right, fam. Night.
All right. I will try to tap in for sure, Ronbo.
All right. Give my best to the kids, too. All right, fam.
All right. All right, man.
Hey, Marion.
Ronbo.
Marion, you know, hey, as I said, Kyle Shanahan, you know, since he's like tell-all book live in living color, so it just gets revealed everything. But I had no idea that the dude was thinking about not coming to the interview. What? Really? We came that close and we didn't even know. What if he would have called Jed and says, Jed, you know, I have to give him some thought. I don't know if this is the right thing I want to do. I'm sorry. I can make some suggestions if you want for some other coaches. I know I know the LaFleur brothers are probably good. You know, hey, you know what? I just accidentally, I was clowning around. Would one of the LaFleur brothers been the coach that year? Because there was nobody left, Marion. I'm thinking, my God. So, how do you feel now, though, as far as McDaniels, McVay, Shanahan, as far as grading go? Are you happy with him still? Were you juiced when he got picked up? Were you in the McDaniels camp? Because it seems like we were split at that time. And any grade that you may have for Shanahan right now, if you want to make one, and you don't have to, because maybe you're thinking, I don't think I'll wait for the grade. But what are you thinking?
Well, if we're going by record, McVay is the best out of all three. We're going to be straight up and honest.
I know it's kind of nasty,
real
but
now.
Rudy, don't get excited. He's just talking about record-wise, because Rudy come in here and just tear the place up now.
McVay is a better play caller. McVay, and I'm just being honest. I just have to keep it real. He's a better play caller. He has a better winning record, 3 playoff appearances out of 4 years. And McDaniels is probably he is the worst of all three. I don't think McDaniels is going to.
I think so.
I think, me personally, after that stint he had in Denver, I think he's comfortable being the OC at New England until something happens that would be a better check.
Yeah,
but as for Kyle, even though we had one good year with Kyle, it just seems like Kyle is bad at picking quarterbacks. He just cannot. And
man, before you go,
wait,
Baron. You know what's interesting about that? I have not said anything, but it's interesting that you mentioned that because we traded up to get CJ. We traded up to get Trey. I wouldn't go say nothing because everybody's gonna go, Ronbo, man, you just hating because your boy Jimmy's in definite jeopardy. I don't want. I'm not going through that. I just keep quiet. But you said it. Go ahead, finish. Go give me some more.
What you just said. He traded up to go get CJ Pepper. Mind you, now, we had a chance to get Deshaun Watson or even to get Patrick Mahomes in that same exact draft. But we trade up go get CJ.
This time you had a chance to get Justin Fields, who's way more polished.
Well, I wouldn't go that far with Justin Fields. He's good. Don't get me wrong, but he also played in the Big Ten, so we're not going to get excited over that. But I will say,
but look where Trey played.
You go and get Nick Mullins. That was horrible. Then and let's not forget, what's the dude name that started the 2017 season? Bald head cat. You know what I'm talking about, man. Been around the league.
Brian Hoyer.
He
brought him.
You're gonna have Brian Hoyer to be your starting quarterback. Because he knows the system. Little stupid stuff like that really makes my ass itch when it comes down to Kyle Shanahan. You know what I mean? So it just Garoppolo trade, that was something good for the time being, but now you're trying to push him out, and if this quarterback don't fall through, it let you know that Kyle Shanahan can't pick no quarterbacks, man.
I remember
he just like his dad. He just like his dad,
wide receiver. Trent Baalke couldn't pick wide receivers either. So it's one or the other.
Of course.
I hope not.
But Kyle is starting to be an image of his dad because remember John Elway was there before Mike Shanahan got there, and when John Elway left, name me one good quarterback they have had since then.
Oh,
you're welcome. So like father, like son. You know what I mean? But Kyle is average at best. He got to get better on his play calling. That's for damn sure. He got to call the plays that fits the team, not the plays he want to call to be arrogant that we don't have the pieces to, because we still don't have a third receiver to throw the ball downfield. So we're gonna find out August and September. You ain't got long, Ronbo.
I know. I can't wait till preseason. We'll get a lightweight sample of what we're working with here. Because you know what, Marion, honestly, Trey has to be a success. We got big trouble. That's 2 first-round picks that we're not going to get, and a third. And if he goes down the tubes, that means we would be getting a great draft pick. In fact, people talk about Jimmy. Jimmy would probably glad to escape next year anyway. the way things are looking if we go south. I'm thinking we're hot, but then we could go cold in a heartbeat if the wrong things are done.
Yeah. Yeah. We got to stay healthy, man. That's one thing.
Number one, actually.
That's number one. We have to stay healthy. And then, it's trade rumors about Garoppolo getting moved this year. I'm like we head in the training camp. Are we talking trade already? So I don't know, man. I don't know.
It depends on what he looks like. If Trey looks like really just awesome in preseason, they should contemplate letting Jimmy go, actually, because we're in trouble if Trey doesn't succeed. And I'm talking serious trouble, because that means we don't have a first-round pick for another quarterback next year. I don't know how much patience Jed's going to have. You know what? This is very depressing. Never mind, man. I'm going to stop. You go ahead. I'm done.
Hey, look, man. Before I go, I hate to bring down the fun, because I know you was all excited with the last call, but you got to be honest with yourself at the same time. You know what I mean? Can Kyle Shanahan eclipse Sean McVay's ability and look, real quick, Sean McVay made it work somewhat with Jared Goff.
Yeah.
It just didn't work the way he wanted to work, but at least he got three playoff appearances out of Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Take it easy. I leave with that.
All right, Phil. Man, we'll be back tomorrow night and bring some sunshine with you, will you please?
No problem.
Have a great night, Phil. Appreciate you. You know this.
All right,
Hey, it's Nigel. I've not called this David forever. Nigel. Nigel. You know what's really nice about coming in this hour? I know people shouldn't be following. I know the NBA Finals on, so we're not going to be able to compete with that. I suspect we're going to run out of folks call here, because the NBA is serious. Boy, don't get me started talking. I'll watch MLB before I watch the NBA. Them refs, them NBA refs, them are the biggest criminals on the planet. I guarantee. Ooh. Nigel, where you at, man? Let's go to Eric. Eric.
Yo, what's up, Ronbo?
Eric, man, I'm just sitting there digesting the flying coach, Kyle Shanahan. It's like we were sitting in a bar with Kyle and a bunch of dudes who's just saying stuff, right? And then, all the thing with Stafford and all the other stuff he talked about. And then actually, one of the most penetrating things he said was, I almost scrapped the San Francisco interview. What? Really? Because we were all sitting on the edge of our seats. People got mad at me because I was saying things like, Shanahan's going to be a coach. Ronbo, shut up, man. You're going to jinx it. What? Him and Jed already got an agreement. That don't mean jack, man. Okay. I thought that they were right. I did not know what I was talking about. And if he was sitting around tired and frustrated after the Super Bowl and thinking about saying, I just feel like I need to take a year off. I don't know if I can get over this or not. He could have done that, Eric. When we think about it, because all we could think about, especially me, was me. I just want Kyle Shanahan on this team now. Let's get up out of the toilet and let's start going forward. Shoot, we came that close. Eric, was there anybody else that you wanted other than Shanahan? And are you, was McVay or McDaniels? McVay was out of the picture for us, but McDaniels was still on the book. But nobody trusted McDaniels because he was like a liar. He would say, I'll be right over. And then the day that you get ready for him to come over into camp, looks like my mom's not going to give me a note, guys. I don't think I can come out. Oh, remember he did that to Detroit, I think, or some team. And so, McVay, we're seeing now in hindsight, although McVay had all the tools he needed to succeed when he first got to L.A., so I still look at him as, could he have done what Shanahan did as far as building up from scratch, starting from foundation and building up, and accomplish the same things? So has your mindset changed since that crucial day when Shanahan got on a plane and flew into San Francisco, or did you ever have any other coach in mind?
I mean, no, I think it was always Shanahan, but at the same time, I think what really sold me on Shanahan was actually like his first interview as the Niners head coach. Like even him and John Lynch, when they first got here, like their interview was just like I would say like it gave
Exciting.
like a full sense of hope to Niner fans, you know, like the fact that they said, you know, we promise we're going to build you a team that's
Brick
going
by
to,
brick.
you know, make you proud. And like, words like that, like especially after the years that we had come off of,
Yes.
those words, like I think they hit every Niner fan in the heart right there.
Oh,
And I think that's why some people, I think even now, are still somewhat blind to what actually Shanahan is doing right now. Because, you know, there's obviously the people that like, you know, they're like Shanahan lovers and people like that. But I feel like if we had McVay, someone like that, I do think the Niners, I wouldn't say they would be a better team right now, but I think McVay would have been, I think, a bit more aggressive. Like players like Shanahan wanted to acquire, like Khalil Mack, Le'Veon Bell, and then OBJ. I think McVay would have probably pulled the trigger on a few of those, and the team would look a little different, I think. But that's just how it went.
Wait, time out. You know what? That's another angle that I hadn't thought about. The deals that failed, but John Lynch would not have been the GM if Kyle doesn't come. If McVay was going to pick out a GM, who would he pick? And would they be more competent or capable of pulling players? That is an excellent point. I hadn't even thought about that. Go ahead.
And who knows? Maybe Shanahan took the job because maybe he realized, hey, the GM that they're bringing in essentially has no idea what he's doing in that job. So maybe I'm going to have more power than him when I get there. Maybe that's what Shanahan was thinking. God, I don't know, but I do think the team would have been a lot different if McVay was the head coach, and obviously I don't think John Lynch would have been the GM. But
and I doubt it too. But you know what? Lynch approached Shanahan because he didn't want to be in the booth anymore, and this was a dream of his. And Kyle said those are some of the solid reasons that I appreciated about him because we didn't know each other, but he sold me on that. Would Lynch have approached McVay? Okay, that's no way to answer that.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's just how it went. Instead of having someone like Khalil Mack, we ended up having Nick Bosa. You know, I think when Jimmy got here, I think when we won those 5 games, I think we were on pace to have the 2nd pick, right?
Oh yeah, we
were like dog shit.
Wait, we were fighting with who to get that number 2 pick? The Raiders?
I think it was. No. That was
the year before.
Well, that was that year. It's just I think if Jimmy wouldn't have come in, I think at the time we were like 1-10, and if Jimmy hadn't come in, I think we were on pace. I think we were on pace for the 2nd overall pick, and I think that was Saquon. I think. I'm not sure though.
No, Saquon wasn't number 1 because he went number 2 or 3. He went after that offensive. No, he went before that offensive lineman. But anyway, we were definitely competing for the number 1 spot because we sucked. We had 1 win. You can get the first round pick if you win 1 game. And I don't know who else was worth. Cleveland was always in the mix, though. But the Cardinals, I forgot. The Cardinals beat us out for sucking. They got the number 1 pick.
Yeah. And obviously, good thing they got rid of Rosen because then they would have Bosa. And I don't know, who would we have picked?
Oh, Quentin Williams,
right?
Quentin Williams or Josh Allen. Although Josh Allen wouldn't have been a bad thing. Williams is not doing a damn thing. But,
yeah.
He helped break Jimmy's foot, though. So,
yeah. When he's already on the ground.
Yeah, I know. That's what really pissed me off. And the refs, the play's dead. Stop. And, you know. But, that's right. That's... memories.
Yeah, I think refs are stupid. And honestly, Ronbo, and I heard you talk about like the NBA. You think it's rigged? I think at times the NFL is rigged.
I know.
Like
I hate to believe it.
Like, I can't seem to believe that the NFL's new face in Mahomes would lose his very first Super Bowl. I just can't see the NFL allowing that, especially to someone like Jimmy G. Now that's not saying like Jimmy G's bad.
But
I'm
he's
just
not going to
saying,
be the golden boy.
I don't think he would lose his.
With the front office.
I just don't see it. And all of a sudden, when he goes against Tom Brady, they're getting all the calls that we were supposed to be getting, and that shit makes no sense.
I mean, they overcalled that game, Eric. I mean, they called things on the Chiefs that they maybe could have let go. With us, they don't let nothing go, and in the following year they go too far. That does
and I
make it seem like, yeah, the refs are running things in the NFL as well.
yeah, and then they gave Mahomes MVP even though he threw 2 picks. I think he had one of the worst quarterback performances ever.
To win.
While the running back was literally killing us all game. He made Kwan Alexander look like an idiot.
I mean,
But yeah, it is what it is.
It's got to stop, though. I'll go watching baseball. You know what? You can't. Well, no. Remember the Houston Astros against the Dodgers? Eric, there's no play. Soccer? Go to European football. God, man. Refs. Determining games.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's an entertainment, and all
Money.
sports, I think, do everything in favor of money.
Yep. Biggest.
That's just what I think.
The mob is running everything because everything stems probably out of Vegas, right? So, these things have been predetermined. Eric, no! We have a chance. Maybe they'll pick us next year. Damn it, come on. Jimmy's Italian.
But it scares me because most likely if we end up in the Super Bowl, we're going to end up with someone like Mahomes or Josh Allen, who I'm pretty sure the NFL would rig it in their favor, which is really annoying.
Maybe. But it's good for the 49ers to get back into things because the NFL saw its glory days when the Cowboys and the 49ers and the Steelers, even the Raiders to some degree, were in the mix. They want a level playing field so the NFL can make money, but you need certain teams to be involved in the mix every year in order for the team the league to profit the most.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
We'll see, man.
All right, Ronbo.
Eric, talk to you tomorrow if you get a chance. Oh,
all right, Ronbo.
All right, fam. Have a good night. Oh man,
right,
Eric
you
and
too, later.
All right, fam. Well, Eric and Marion bringing home points that you have to. It's food for thought. You got to think about it. Hey, Nigel.
Ronbo.
Nigel, we've not talked
Can you
forever.
hear me, senor?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Hey, man, sorry I had the phone on mute because I was taking care of my daughter just a minute ago, and I didn't want to.
That's okay. That's okay.
Cut in and make sure I was,
Nigel, we're not talked in a long time, man. I'm tonight because we're finding out from that broadcast, the flying coach. There was things that people had no idea about. But this thing with Kyle Shanahan talking about, I was tired as hell, man. I almost told the 49ers, forget about it. Can you imagine? And we waited that long for him to come on over and say, okay. And some people were saying, Jed, man, did you get us a coach before? What if he says no? And Jed was pretty confident, but we got him. Okay. So what if we wouldn't have got Shanahan? Who would have been option number 2 for you? And are you satisfied with Shanahan being the coach, even now, if you were then, even now as much as you were back then?
Ronbo, I had no idea who they were going to go after. Like, after Thompson. Thompson was our last coach, right?
No, Chip Kelly.
What was it? Jim Thompson?
No, Chip Kelly was the last guy. Tom Sewell was the first guy.
My bad.
Yeah.
Okay. So thinking back, I actually wouldn't have minded if Chip Kelly was continued on for another year because he was dealt a pretty bad card, man. We were going through this thing with Kaepernick, who personally I like Kaepernick. I think he was a great quarterback, but he had his own, all the stuff that went on with him without getting into it. And, it was just this weird transition time. And when I heard Kyle talk about that, I was like, we were one nap away from who knows what. We might not have had Kyle. Yeah. And my thing is, when I heard him say that in this interview with Sean McVay and Schrager, I was like, wow. I'm like, we were kind of.
Didn't it blow you away?
We were kind of, we were like that third, maybe fourth option, maybe second option at best, because he wanted somebody with an established quarterback. But
And
in my
a setup
opinion,
where he could come in and do
yeah.
his thing, like he did with Atlanta, right?
Right. I think if he was looking at it very closely, I don't know if he would have said that, because we had a top pick where he could have had his choice between the two-time reigning quarterback from Clemson, which is Deshaun Watson, which we, hindsight 2020 now, but at that particular time, this kid went to the national championship 2 times in a row. And this team needed a quarterback, and we had one of the top picks to be able to choose somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, but John Lynch actually said he went to see Patrick Mahomes, and he said he was one of the best arms that he's ever seen in his life. Like, great quarterback, all that type of thing. So, hindsight 2020, if I was Kyle Shanahan, I'd be like, yeah, well, I might have thought about it this way, but in reality, I was in a good situation. Even though they didn't pick a quarterback, we were in prime position to be able to do something at that position. If that was his number one goal with the franchise.
Would have a quarterback, right? And what does he do?
Right.
He gets C.J. Beathard. Was that the 3rd round? Yeah.
Yes. We bring in C.J. Beathard, which nothing against that guy. I give him all the credit in the world as an ex-49er now. He did his thing. I mean, what are you supposed to do as the 3rd stringer? And, he was not exactly put in the best situation.
No, it was the first year.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it's the first year.
And he brings in Brian Hoyer. Anyway, and this whole thing about him wanting freaking Kirk Cousins, that kind of rubs me the wrong way. And you know what I feel like right now, Ronbo? Is I feel like a wife that's like, oh, this guy proposed to me, but he was actually dating maybe 2 other guys, and you know what I'm saying? And like I was a 3rd option, and I'm like, wow, what am I supposed to feel like now?
Just
you know what
I'm
saying? Like kind of like that kind of situation.
Great analogy.
But it is what it is. We are where we are now, and I'm just looking forward. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm glad to talk to you, Ronbo. It's been a long while. I've been busy with life, and
I need to come in earlier more.
I've been listening. So yeah.
Okay, well, appreciate that. All right. Well, Nigel, it's nice. I hear the little one back there getting daddy's attention. So Nigel, appreciate you, fam. You know what? We'll be back tomorrow night. Try to stick to this early schedule. It's fun seeing people I haven't seen in a while. Because maybe we're getting in earlier.
Yeah, that's no
the NBA
problem.
game's on tonight.
I'm gonna be having some time off here in the next few weeks or so. So I'll be calling in here from time to time. So I'm always listening, Ronbo. I'm a hardcore 49ers fan. You're more hardcore than me. I've never met anybody like that in my life. So I really appreciate that. You give me the content. You give me the stuff to listen to. So, man, I love you, brother. So just keep doing your thing.
Thanks, Nigel. Appreciate you, fam. And looking forward to hearing from you tomorrow if you get a chance. All right.
Yes, sir.
Have a great night. Yeah. It's funny because, you see, that's why I always laughed after the season was over. And I said, people laughed at me when I said I wanted Christian McCaffrey in the 1st round. They stopped laughing after year 2. Christian McCaffrey, man, in the 1st round. Nobody get no running back with number 3 pick. What are you 2 pick? What are you talking about? CC is a bad boy. But you know what? It was unrealistic, and we sucked the year before, and we needed somebody to stop the run because everybody, and they could bring their mom down on the field, and she could have ran for yardage on the 49ers. We could not stop the run, so of course things connect the dots, and it pointed toward Solomon T. So it wasn't a stupid pick. Hey, let me go. Hey, perfect timing. It's Chill Pill Phil. Phil, get in here and lay some of that Philisms
all right, Ronbo.
on us. Yeah. Well, Phil, you know subject matter tonight, and I don't need to repeat to you. I'm going to just hush and listen, man. I mean, Phil, Kyle, if you know what, I hope he never makes another appearance on the Flying Coach. I mean, the man is frightening. God.
I know. Hey, but I want to say one thing to the person who said McVay's a better play caller than Kyle Shanahan. If I'm not mistaken, we've beaten the Rams 5 out of the last 6 times when Kyle had a third-string quarterback running the team, and we beat him. We split with them when they went to the Super Bowl. And again, Atlanta had the Patriots on the ropes in the Super Bowl when Kyle was calling the plays. And how many points did the Rams score against the Patriots in the Super Bowl? I don't think it was many.
It wasn't double digit.
No. So to say that, and McVay was underneath Kyle at Washington. So come on. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Phil, also, one thing people need to do also with that, to be fair, McVay came into a beautiful situation with all kind of weapons everywhere on both offense and defense.
Aaron Donald, he had, all kinds of players on that team.
Man, Sammy
and then he got,
Watkins,
the first pick at the draft, and then
receivers.
got Goff. So,
Golf was already there.
Kyle,
Didn't they pick up Cooper Kupp that year? You know what? Golf was already there, and he was struggling under the clown that got fired the year before. Remember?
Right. They drafted Goff before then. I don't know if Cooper Kupp was there or not, but they had Aaron Donald. That's for sure. So, and the Rams haven't had very many injuries, and so they're due.
Right? That's amazing. How come?
So, come on. Kyle is a much better play caller than McVay. It's not even a question. So that's where I stand. And, and we could go over the woulda, coulda, shouldas or whatever.
Yeah.
The bottom line is we got the team we got. I think we're a Super Bowl contending team. We stay healthy. I think we're far better than the Rams. I think we're far better than everybody else in the division. And, we'll see what goes in the playoffs if we, stay healthy. But, to say that Kyle doesn't know quarterbacks, of course he wanted Kirk Cousins, but did you see the numbers he had with Kirk Cousins at Washington?
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins threw for almost 4,000 yards with Washington. So, I mean, he had some great numbers, and he also had RG3, who was Rookie of the Year under Kyle the first year. So, don't say he doesn't know quarterbacks or can't coach a quarterback. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, you got a great point there too. But Phil, here's the thing. Kyle does. What people don't understand is Kyle. He has a system lined up, ready to roll. He's going to pick the quarterback into that system that's going to best execute what he wants to do. Now, people keep saying we need this kind of quarterback. We need the best. We need this. We need that. I say, you know what? Kyle doesn't pick those people because he doesn't think they're good football players. I think he picks players that he knows can implement his program. So I'm still torn on that.
But he doesn't really depend on the quarterback as much as other teams because his running schemes are so advanced. And when you look at it, his dad was also the same way. He had Terrell Davis, and his dad also had John Elway, two Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
this is why when people keep yelling and screaming,
going to be fine.
Yeah, but he's going to have to learn to.
Jimmy is going to get through until Trey Lance is a grown-up. I mean, so
I know he can't. He can't get into bars yet, can he?
No.
Here's the thing, Phil.
I mean, so let's just be realistic here. I mean, we're going to be fine. Our defense is going to be good. Our offensive line is far better now than it was under Shanahan. Mm-hmm. So I think, I'm just waiting. I can't wait till the season starts. That's
4
my
weeks.
problem.
First preseason game is like 12? What is it? Second week in August, I think.
Yeah.
So good. God.
You got the Chiefs and the Raiders. You're at home. So
yeah.
I always sell my preseason games.
Yeah.
So those are two good teams to sell because
Yeah.
fans.
You know,
want to see.
because and if
So-
anybody just one thing, the Chiefs do have a problem with the Raiders, which is really funny. You always get those matchup issues with certain teams, so it's gonna be funny.
Yeah.
But anyway,
But to say Kyle's not a great play caller,
yeah, no,
that's just ridiculous.
there may be some things you can pick out with Kyle, but that's McVay learned a lot of what he learned from Kyle. So
Yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to
chime
touch
in.
base, call in, see
I'm
what's going
glad to
on.
hear it too. It's always good stuff, Phil. We'll be back
And I'm
tomorrow.
with you on the NBA, man. I don't
man,
watch the NBA.
Ooh, wow, man. Phantom calls, and last second, clearly a foul. I mean, there's 3 seconds left on the clock. The guy smashes the guy into the floor, broke the boards, and the referee walks off the floor like nothing happened. Game over. Whoa, 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 whoa. Bring that ref back in here. What was that? Referees will not determine calls at the end of the game like that. Okay, what does that tell everybody in the NBA? That means if you can go down and kill that man before he makes that layup that could win the game, you can win the game. Oh, you don't let me get started. All right, Phil.
I'm sorry I did it.
Ooh, God. Oh, God.
All right, Ronbo.
I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, Phil.
Take care.
You too.
Bye.
There goes Phil. O.D. on.
Ronbo, what's going on, brother?
D, man, sit back here, still resonating over the Kyle Shanahan. Yeah, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I was pissed off and I didn't get Matthew Stafford. And I'll tell you why, too. And Sean, by the way, if you guys would have went after Julio Jones, I'd have been all over that. And by the way, I almost didn't become the 49ers coach. Kyle, is there anything else you want to tell us? Damn! Why? Hey, we didn't know about all this stuff, man. Okay, but you weren't going to be our coach? Really? I thought Kyle was excited to come here. You know, tradition, his dad used to be a 49er man, had some of his best success with the 49er organization. Kyle was the ball, he dragged the chains. I mean, he was red and gold, actually. I just thought it was like, it ran deep, naive as I can be. Well, are you satisfied? Did you want, because you're the kind of guy that you look at things closely, did you want Kyle Shanahan back in the day? Or were you looking at McDaniel, or you had other options that's on your mind? Yeah. And are you currently satisfied with Kyle?
Am I currently satisfied with Kyle? No, not at all. Did I want him back in the day? Yeah. He was honestly like the last available coach. And at the same time, I thought his offensive scheme would definitely work here with the pieces that we had there. I just anticipated in Kyle's first year that he would draft a quarterback rather than
most coaches do.
Waiting on Kirk Cousins. But we all know how that love affair ended. But what I figured out, so I got a show coming up here on Tuesday. And I'm going to go through all of the 49ers draft picks from the Bill Walsh era up till now. So basically, I'm going through that, taking a look, seeing where we hit, where we miss, all that.
What time, D?
Remember when we had? I'll probably try to do it later in the day. So probably about 5 or 6 Pacific or Mountain, and probably roughly around like 8 or 9 Eastern. But what I found out was, in going through the GM, Scott McClugan, you remember him?
Oh, God,
we had him when we started to get Justin Smith and Nate Clements and all of those dudes.
He just couldn't stop drinking. But that boy, the dude, he could pick some talents. He built that team.
McClugan, he built the team. Look, man, if that's the case, if I had to let that man have a couple more sips, and he was building the team the way he was building. Look, man, let me go ahead and get you a pipe right now so you can keep building. But he went over to be Washington's GM. The reason that Scott McClugan got fired when he got there was not because of his drinking. It was because he wanted to get rid of Kirk Cousins. He wanted to trade Kirk Cousins, and the organization was not with it. And he was about to do it.
What year was that? Was that when Kyle was calling?
This was like right before Kyle.
Wow, okay.
This was basically right before Kyle, yeah. But for me, I look at it like this. Did I want Kyle? Yes. His offensive genius was definitely on display. I know he kind of squandered that situation in the playoffs, and I get it. But for me, he would have worked out well. The only thing that I have a problem with is everybody giving him credit that he doesn't deserve. The issue is y'all are making him seem like he can pick up anybody and turn them into gold. He cannot. He can make them look good, but he can't turn them into Super Bowl winners. I.e., anybody want to test me on that? See Nick Mullins and C.J. Beathard. He drafted C.J. thinking he was a project. Oh, I like him, I this, I that. And what happened? He fell flat on his face. C.J. wasn't able to get everything that he wanted to get. He got Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins looked good against the Raiders, and then after that he had subpar play. He did what he could. He looked all right. Boom. Next year we had good offers for him. We turned down those offers because we felt like he would be a viable backup. And as you can see, now Nick Mullins is with the Eagles, and I believe CJ is with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And we went ahead and traded away 2 of our future first-round picks for Trey Lance.
Yep.
So everyone gives Kyle a pass and says, okay, well, this is his guy, and his name is attached to him. And, if he fails with this guy, then, yeah, we can say he's a failure.
Because that would be number 2.
The man only has one. The man only has one winning season.
Mm-hmm.
Just being honest.
Mm.
And these are facts, people. You cannot dispute. You cannot dispute facts. The man has one winning season. Yes, that one winning season took you to the Super Bowl, but out of 4 years, no. We should have 2, at least 3 winning seasons at a bare minimum, and we should have been to the playoffs in all of those seasons that we won. So, in essence, him going on, and I know everybody's making a big deal of the interview and everything like that. I get it. I understand it. But to me, he's just basically saying what we all knew. A lot of these things are things that we all thought, Now, the only thing that was surprising to me was him waking up like last minute, throwing on a suit and just getting up and going to the interview.
I know, man, his wife told him, you promised him, Kyle. You can't, come on, be professional. Let's go. Get up. I'll drive you.
Yeah, you got to think about that. Like, anybody with an interview, when I have an interview, I'm ready 3 hours before it.
Yeah, you don't.
I got the old monkey suit on. I'm out there ready to razzle and dazzle and impress and do whatever I got to do. But I have no reason to be ready at 5 minutes till or something, So I listened to the whole interview, and to me, I like it because it reveals things to you that you see the coaches doing. Him sleeping. The only thing that wasn't surprising to me was him being in on certain players. Being in on Stafford. We all knew they were in on Stafford. He's not sold on Jimmy. Joe Staley came out from a viable friend of mine and said he does not trust Jimmy at all. That's why the playbook is limited when Jimmy is playing. He gives him a certain amount of plays. He knows what he can do. He plays to his strengths. And, yes, Jimmy wins when he's in there. But at the end of the day, he doesn't trust him fully because he doesn't feel like we're going to get back to a Super Bowl with Jimmy. So at the end of the day, if you got the greatest left tackle in 49ers history saying, yo, he doesn't really trust this guy, what does that tell you?
Especially Joe, because Joe's crazy about Jimmy. That's interesting.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, George is crazy about Jimmy. But at the end of the day, that didn't stop George from saying, well, he can spin it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got it. That's basically what it is. So I can understand it.
Well, he's got a chance. Trey's got a chance coming up preseason. If he knocks things down, goes wild, Kyle may save that money. It's not impossible.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, hey, and if he does, nobody's going to knock him for it. Because what are they going to say? They're going to look at him and go, you know what? It is what it is. The kid came in. He showed improved. He did what he was supposed to do. That's it. You can't get mad at him,
It's going to be interesting, though, because I really know. I just know Jimmy comes out this year looking like, you know what they said about him in OTAs? Jimmy didn't miss a pass one. We're seeing a kid that's motivated like never before.
Jimmy, you got to remember his job on the line, Ronbo.
That's what I'm saying. This is going to be a fun preseason. And when Jimmy leaves next year, he can thank everybody, including his haters, for making him who he is. Because if Jimmy turns into a top 3 quarterback, and I got him as a top 5 by midseason, he can say, hey, Jimmy, we know you're not mad because without the kicks you got in the butt, you wouldn't have done all this. So you know what? Good luck to you. And you'll always appreciate San Francisco for that reason. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely so, man. I see Jimmy, he's got a fire lit under his ass. He knows he ain't got no choice. He's got to want it. He's got to go out there, show he wants it, and he's got to make it happen.
I captured a quote from the other day. He says, you use all of it for fuel. You give it all you got because this is the time. If you don't, nobody's going to remember you. Jimmy's ready. That boy is ready. We're going to see. Hey, D, look at this. We ran out of time. But D, I love the observations, though, man. It was, you always make sense. Tuesday, right at what time? Around 8 o'clock.
Usually roughly 8 o'clock on the East Coast. Yes, sir.
Niner Gang Podcast. That's Niner, the number 9, ER, space, not like me, because I was looking for a long time, I couldn't find. Niner, space, Niner Gang, space, gang, podcast. You got it. G.
Bravo.
5 o'clock East Coast.
I got what? Appreciate you, brother. I got one thing, man. It's my brother's birthday. Can you give him that? Can you give him that birthday real quick?
Yeah, we can do it real quick. Are you ready? What's your brother's name?
Oh, Jonathan.
Jonathan. Hey, Jonathan, he is a 49er fan. Even if he ain't, I love it when people ain't 49er fans. I get to sing 49er birthday to him. Jonathan. Happy Niners birthday to D's bro, Jonathan. Hey, John, I'm just getting started, too. Happy Niners birthday to Jonathan. Hey, there's a wine glass right there, fellas. Drop the, go ahead. Thank you, ladies. Hey. Happy Niners birthday, dear Jonathan. Happy. Usually takes 3. Happy. I'm pumped up now. Happy Niners! People don't know, but I can breathe. That's why I can do that for any number of time. What I do is get phone calls. People say, what is all that noise down there? It's birthday. Big J. Was a good one. Y'all
Thanks,
watch that.
Bravo, man. I really appreciate it, man. He's right
pleasure.
here just smiling and laughing.
Y'all look out for that heat. We're hearing legendary temperatures going on out in AC. All right? Woo! God.
All right, man. Thanks, Bravo.
Hey, have a good night. And hey, Matt.
Hey, Ronbo.
Matt. Well, come on in, Matt. We're still getting in talking about the aftermath of the Kyle Shanahan revelations and his final stinging statements about him not really serious about the 49ers until he came into the office. He almost didn't come. And Jed just said all the right things. Said, look, I want you to pick your GM. Give me your contract, whatever you had in mind. I'll go over that, and let's get this show on the road. And I guess Jed painted a picture of that he really liked, and that's probably the biggest reason why we have Kyle Shanahan as our coach. So I was thinking, what if all that didn't transpire, and all of a sudden, in the middle of February, Kyle Shanahan has rejected the 49ers offer, and he is going to whatever place, and the 49ers are suddenly without a coach. It's pretty late. What are they going to do now? Josh McDaniels, as you remember, was in the mix. Sean McVay could have been in the mix, but the Rams, I don't know where they got their information from. They jumped on him I mean, a few minutes after they picked up their defensive coordinator, it's really interesting. Did Jed ever consider McVay? I don't think so. I don't think he knew anything about what Sean McVay was. So, did you have any other choices at that time? Were you happy about Shanahan being signed? And if we didn't get him, who would have been the alternative?
Well, at the time, I don't know why, but I wanted Josh McDaniels, and I was like, I don't really know why. I just thought he was with Belichick. He worked under Belichick. I was like, and we were so bad at the time, but coming off Chip Kelly year, I was like, winning, anything that is associated with winning, comes to San Francisco would be a benefit for us.
Yeah.
But when they hired Shanahan, I was like intrigued by it. I was like, all right. I was like, I'm fine with it. I'll give him a chance, definitely.
I just realized, though, if we picked up McDaniels, remember that GM, I forget his name, over in New England? He may have drawn that GM. Now, I don't know how the organization felt about Jimmy at that time, but do you know that would have been pivotal for what's going on now? Chances are that guy and McDaniel, who's very familiar with Jimmy, maybe Jimmy does still end up in San Francisco. Why? Because Belichick knows McDaniel, and he knows the GM, and he would have been in their ear because they all know each other real well. Look, we're gonna need a quarterback over here. I understand that the boss is saying that Tom's not going anywhere. You guys want to load Jimmy on us? What do you want? And I bet you that would have happened.
Yeah, you're right. I did not think about that.
That's how all the dots connect. So maybe Jimmy was destined to be with the 49ers, no matter whether Shanahan or McDaniels is with us. And McDaniels runs a different system. Who knows? What we saw in Jimmy in 2017, that was McDaniels' training. So does Jimmy stay Jimmy instead of learning Shanahan's offense and go to stardom? There's so many variables and hypotheticals. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, so many what ifs and
yeah. But anyway, and so you wanted McDaniel, and McDaniel. But McDaniel's he's so flaky though. The guy, people hired him, and we're all set to go, and he says, "Nah."
Yeah,
I don't think
Indianapolis hired him for 1 year, and then right when they were about to announce, he was like, "Nah, I'm going back to New England." Dude, he just got hired.
Well, what if you look at you did to that team? What are they going to do now? Oh, Josh,
right.
Have you no shame? So so the Jed was talking to him was already scary. So
I thought the most interesting hire was when they hired John Lynch because he just came out of I was like, out of nowhere. I was like, really, John Lynch? I was GM? I was like, all right.
John Lynch. What do you think about John Lynch? I don't know how. I listen to everybody else, and a lot of people are really all over him because they think that he doesn't know enough about what he's doing. He was a guy. He's a Hall of Fame player, but he was in the booth and he was a PR guy. You can tell the way he addresses the in post-game conferences or anything like that. John Lynch is perfect, man. He never makes any mistakes with his big smile on his face. I can't tell you. John kills me when he says that because I know here comes John. He's going to say something that's it's going to smooth over everybody. It's going to be a satisfying answer, but it's not going to tell anybody anything. So, it's I don't know. I don't think he would have been in the mix, though. But I like John.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel bad for liking him because so many people, Lynch is only there because Kyle likes him. It's all about Adam Peters and everybody else who's working in the front office, not John. I said, well, I can't argue that because I don't know what goes on in the front office. It's not clearly on display. So, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, people forget that we were utter garbage, and they rebuilt the team in 2-3 years, got into the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's kind of fast.
That's really hard to do and not talk about enough.
especially with the young guys we had too.
Yep.
I tell you what, Matt, if it wasn't for the injuries, I think we're talking Super Bowl or at least another NFC Championship run last year, too. I really do. So we've got to find a way to stop these injuries.
Every year, man. Like somebody said earlier, the Rams are due for some injuries.
Right? It's their turn.
Come on. Like, when was the last time Aaron Donald even got hurt? Or
Yeah. All he does is hurt others. Russell Wilson probably just as soon Aaron Rodgers do be hurt. I mean, I've never seen a guy get Kowalski T suplexed the Bears quarterback that year, but to take a man while you're on the ground and sail him over the top of your body to the other side of his body, why? Where's the flag? Is that not legal? Aaron Rodgers, he did that to Russell Wilson. I was in tears laughing. God, that was WWE all the way. But yeah, they were a tough team. That's why when they say McVay is better than Kyle, I say, I don't know. Yes, he's got all the things he needed before he even came in. But, Matty, we're going to have to go.
Yeah.
Matty,
all right.
You get a chance. Let me see you tomorrow, okay? All right, fam. Good night.
All right. Night, Ronbo. Have a good one.
Night. Hey.
Check your pocket.
Jay, look out. It sounds like Jason is in your house. Shout. Jay!
Make the call. Make it. Eddie.
Please send us please to 6741 Arbor Road. What is your emergency?
I shouldn't do this, but it's always fun
Just shut up.
to listen in. Jay! Okay, we'll come back. This might not be a good time. Hey, Steven!
What's up, Ronbo?
Steven, we're still digesting the flying coach, and he's got to stay off that program. But anyway, what we do know is a lot of things, and also we do know that we came that close to not having a coach that year. I don't even know who would have been the coach if he didn't come. But McDaniel, maybe they could have begged him to finally come. I think he didn't want to play either. And we'd already lost out on McVay. Steven, do you remember any of the coaches in the mix that year? I remember somebody said something about that offensive coordinator over in Seattle, and everybody booed so hard, you could hear it coming off of keyboards all over the Niner Empire. What was that dude's name? Anyway, he's out of football now. But, man, what were we going to do? And I remember Steve Young was saying, hey, guys, don't bring in another defensive-minded head coach. You guys need to get back to 49er football, So, and apparently Jed took that seriously, too. So he went out and got Kyle Shanahan, and he said he'd wanted him for years. So are you happy with what happened? Is that what you wanted? And Kyle's saying that he almost didn't want the 49ers. Does that make you feel like maybe Kyle wasn't all that into the 49ers at that time? Or maybe he was just tired and weary from losing that Super Bowl? What are you thinking?
To be honest, Ronbo, the way I see it, I'm kind of happy that we got Kyle Shanahan anyways, because that was someone we needed. I mean, outside of Chip Kelly, Jim Tomsula, those guys were garbage. I mean, I hated everything about those two. But no matter what, I will always say out of all the coaches between, Bill Walsh, Kyle Shanahan, I fully regret the 49ers siding with, what's his name? Oh, my God. The GM at the time. I try to wipe his memory out of my head.
Wait, you got McLuhan, Trent Baalke?
Trent Baalke, yes, Trent Baalke. So I regret that moment where everyone sided with Trent Baalke and Jim Harbaugh walked. That is one thing I will always regret. Because he found a way to make Colin Kaepernick work.
No, because nobody sided with Trent. You mean the organization sided with Trent, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the organization sided with Trent. I'm pretty sure the fans collectively all hated Trent Baalke.
God, yes. The guy was
like he's the biggest idiot of all. And so I'm happy that we got Kyle Shanahan. I just hate the fact that we had to go through a season with Jim Tomsula and Chip Kelly. That is you can only go up from there, and Kyle Shanahan was definitely a high above up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But overall, though, as him coming into the organization with barely any players to actually work with, I think he did pretty decent in his first year. His second year, granted, we got Jimmy G, and that kind of didn't work out because Jimmy decided to go and do his own little, scramble play and tore his ACL, and then we're back to square one again.
Yeah.
But, I mean, overall, you can't really get mad at Kyle Shanahan for what players do to themselves.
True.
Now, it's a different story about the whole training camp thing. But I will say this. I am happy overall. He got us to a Super Bowl his comeback year, which I think that speaks a lot of volumes. Granted, we could have kept that W if we didn't let off the gas. That's for damn sure.
Yep. It was right there.
But
9, 7, 8 minutes to go, something like that. Oh, man.
Yeah. That was crushing. It was definitely crushing, but overall, I'm happy that we picked up Kyle Shanahan. And do I think he didn't choose us? Honestly, we can never really know. I mean, he seemed
he didn't tell that
in the interview. You don't know if he was interested or not interested, or if he was just tired. I'm gonna go ahead and say he was tired because how he worded it was, I had done a couple of interviews, and then finally I get this phone call from SF and blah, blah, blah. Talked to his wife, went over there, nailed it, just talked normal. And it sold him. And so overall, whether or not he wanted to or not, he's here. He does pretty damn well. Yeah, he's cocky and he's a little arrogant. Oh, a lot of arrogant. But he does produce results when you give him what he wants.
True. And he's got a healthy roster. This is the bottom line.
Yes.
Everybody points fingers at this, and this, and this. All of that means jack doo-doo. If that roster was healthy, none of the negative conversations that are going on would even be in place, right? We win last year.
Ronbo, if we won that Super Bowl, the fans would be kissing Jimmy's ass, Kyle's ass, and Jed's. They would get all the love, every single one of them. But because they blew that Super Bowl, everybody hates them.
And the combination of last year, Jimmy gets hurt again. So there would be no Trey Lance in San Francisco right now because they would have went ahead and got anybody to back Jimmy up if he stayed on the field 2 years in a row. They would have been done with the fear factor. Everybody thinks Kyle hates Jimmy and doesn't trust him and all of this. This is the narrative going around now. When really, John Lynch made it clear we're not going to be stuck if Jimmy gets hurt again with no backup. And that was also a motivating factor. But people ignore that factor, go with the other narratives. When really, to do that, you got to groom him anyway now because Jimmy's contract's going to be up and we can't afford to keep him. If Jimmy does well this year, do you know he's going to be worth upwards of 35, 40 million? Because that's the standard now?
He's going to be worth an exorbitant amount of money. And only because it's his second comeback year off of a calf strain. And if he blows up the field and he lights everybody up, you know how dumb a lot of us are going to look? Imagine he comes back, starts throwing deep.
Yeah.
What are we going to say then?
Can't say anything. And also, if we win the Super Bowl, now it's going to be you absolutely can't afford him. We got other players, and we got to lose everybody or keep Jimmy. What are we going to do? You got to let Jimmy go. You got to go ahead because you've already picked up Trey Lance with the draft picks, and you got to go. Then we're in prayer. Okay. Now that we've got a taste of what it's like to be on top, God, please let this kid mature quickly. We're going to be in prayer mode. I already see it. Because contrary to popular belief, nobody walks in on Kyle Shanahan's offense and just masters it. I don't care if he does know the whole playbook. You still got to do it. That's
Ronbo, if he masters that entire playbook of Kyle Shanahan within this offseason, and whenever time, God fear, I pray for Jimmy. I don't wish anything bad upon him. But if he gets injured and Trey Lance comes and he just floors Jimmy to the ground,
Jimmy's dead. No,
arguably he will be the best QB to come out of college first year.
Jimmy's dead meat if he gets hurt anyway. No matter what happens.
Easily.
Yeah.
Because look at we had Rosen. We picked up Rosen late in the season, And that man was a first-round pick in the very beginning. That man was great. Granted, he got stuck with really crappy teams, and he got the raw deal at the end. But he's also been studying the playbook. From the time we got him, he sat on the bench.
And he had nothing to do but study.
So it's like he has two sharks ready to go after him, and he has no idea what to do. If I was Jimmy Ronbo, I would be aiming at the smallest objects from the furthest distance, so that way every time I throw, I know it's a dime.
He's got, you know what? Jimmy had a lot of drops and a lot of sloppy play from receivers that are just okay. Now he's got two that are really good, along with George. I got a thought that Jimmy Garoppolo holds a clinic on many a Sunday this year, and an offensive line to protect him. Look out now. Jimmy's getting a lot of respect. So, but that's going to up his price, and the 49ers might even be able to get at least one of those first-round picks back, and that's probably what we all need and want. So we'll see.
Honestly, that is what we need. We need our first-round picks back.
Right,
we gave up so much for Trey Lance, and I swear to God, Rombo, if he does not perform well, the entire fan base is going to be knocking on Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch's door.
And somebody could get fired. You know that? That's how serious this is. All right. Hey, then we got to go, fam. We'll look for you tomorrow night.
All right, I'll see you.
All right, looking forward. Night.
Peace.
Peace. Hey, Jesus.
Yo, is this Ronbo, the man, the myth, the legend, the GOAT?
Who is that they used to call and say that all the time from Arizona? Oh, I think his name. Hey, Zeus. Oh, it's Ronbo.
Yo, it's Ronbo, the GOAT.
Hey, Zeus. You already know we're still like vibrating over Shanahan actually having said, I almost scrapped that interview, man. It didn't have anything to do with San Francisco. I was just a little tired.
Right.
Kyle, get your ass up. You can't get tired right now. Whoa, we came that close. Because you know how that feels. Have you ever sat back and, you had things to do, you'd already been busy all day, or you've been busy for days in a row, like you was spent, and somebody said, hey, Jesus, man, we're going to meet down here, man. We got something we want you to check out. Yeah, well, I'll be calling you, man. If I'm feeling like I got the juice, I'll be on down there. Otherwise, man, you gotta reschedule me. I've done that a million times in my lifetime, so I know. Yeah. He was in that space.
I've done it a lot.
Damn, we came that close. So, But how did you feel about Kyle back then? Are you happy with him now? Somebody said McVay probably would have been a coach. Somebody also said we just had a McDaniels shout out. So, where were you at on this? And are you still in that same place with Kyle Shanahan? And holler at your boys first. Give me some.
All right. I'd like to give a shout-out to my brother Eddie E. I'd like to give a shout-out to Kobe, Andrew Martinez, Tommy Huxley, Josh One, Ray Jr. All my homies in here, I'm sorry that, I'm trying to cut it short, because Ronbo probably got a lot of calls, shout out to the Empire, you feel me? And I'd like to give a shout-out to my new son, Larry Hoover, a.k.a. that little Raider fan in there, and my son, Don Burr, and Marketing Pro. Those are my new sons. I'm going to claim them on my taxes, Ronbo.
Get lots of returns. Woo!
But I'm happy with Kyle Shanahan, Ronbo. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's okay. I'm just telling you. Go ahead.
I'm happy with Kyle Shanahan. He does really good the first, second, and third quarters, in the game. But the first quarter and the fourth quarter, man, I have to. I'm scared, man. I don't like Kyle Shanahan's play calling in the fourth quarter.
He seems to become cautious, doesn't he? Sometimes he's a little less aggressive in the fourth quarter. I did notice that.
Yeah, he plays a lot of, he plays, he coaches conservatively, which it's okay to play conservative, but at the same time,
get the first down.
that's why I'm just like, we need to get those first downs. We need to start chewing up that clock. So it's just to me it's like, damn. I'm happy with Kyle Shanahan. His playbook is bigger than McVay's. McVay's a good coach. A lot of the fans are gonna probably chew me out. But he has gotten the Rams some success. I feel like Kyle Shanahan and McVay are almost the same person in some kind of weird way when it comes down to coaching. And the reason why McVay makes a lot of terrible decisions too, Ronbo, and so does Kyle Shanahan.
But Jesus, they still, both of them outcoach most teams. I mean, McVay got beat by Belichick, and also he kind of got beat by Peyton. But those guys are legendary coaches too. He's not going to lose to your everyday guy. He beats up on Pete Carroll every time he sees him, which is really interesting, right? The Rams whip up on the Hawks like it's going out of style, and we whip up on the Rams every time we see them, but we struggle with the Hawks. I'll never understand that. Matchup issues, I understand those, though.
I think it's because there's more of a rivalry between the Niners and the Seahawks, and it's only because I feel like it still goes back to the Pete Carroll and to Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Maybe Mike Holmgren with Mike Nolan,
Yeah.
So, it's probably just one of those things, where it's just like, hey, like, even though, like, we weren't the best in the mid-2000s, but we became good, obviously, in the 2010s under Jim Harbaugh.
You start coming on. 2011. What were we in 2011?
We drafted a lot of players.
13-3?
What was that? I'm sorry?
I'm just saying, what was our record when Harbaugh's first year, 2011? Was that 13 wins in that season? I think so. We start sliding down after that year.
13 wins.
Came in 13, baby. 13! Yeah.
Yeah, 13-3, 11-4-1, 12-4, and then after that 8-8, and then 5-11. 2-14.
Don't repeat it.
10,
oh, it just
4-12.
Flush the toilet. It smells. Woo! Yeah.
But it just kind of goes back to that's the reason why the Seahawks they want to beat us. Like they always want to beat us because they it goes back and forth. We hate them, they hate us. It just comes with that territory. I don't see us really hating the Cardinals, but I feel like us and the Rams are somewhat of a rivalry because now because we're like I'm not saying like I'm not trying to sound like a bad fan, but like we're becoming like better on the squad, as our Niners because we had a terrible Jim Tomsula 49ers team and a terrible Chip Kelly team. And the first two seasons of Kyle Shanahan's the Niners, man, we weren't the best team either.
But we look competitive. We were losing by small
margins.
We
were looking competitive. We had defensive lines. I feel like we really dropped the ball. If we wanted a pass rusher, we should have gone after T.J. Watt instead of getting Solomon Thomas.
Ooh, that's so true. T.J. was in that draft. Oh,
yeah.
Too late.
Ronbo, earlier I was on another 49er live stream, and I said, imagine we could have got Mahomes, Alvin Kamara, and Kittle in the same draft.
Hey.
Imagine that.
Hey, Sus, we got to go, but Kamara sent out on his social media he would like to be a 49er. Ah! Okay, it's too late. It's too late, All right, Jesus, go ahead and take care of your kids in the chat, and I'll look for
I'm going to have to put them on timeout, Ronbo. They're coming in here disrespecting. All right,
no, and no fruit cup. No fruit cup for dinner. All right, fam. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me on call, man. Everyone leave a like and subscribe to Ronbo, man. The man's the truth, man. The man's the GOAT.
Thanks, Jesus. Looking forward to hearing from you tomorrow. Night, fam.
All right, brother. Have a blessed night.
All right. Well, it's a big show. It's a big show on tonight. Show, come on in, because I think JJ is busy, and I'm not seeing him with any of his madcap
Don't
capers.
jinx it.
So, what we're talking about tonight, and I think you and I used to have lengthy conversations about a lot of things, and I think this was another one. Did you want Kyle or McDaniel? McDaniels?
No, I did not want Kyle Shanahan because he blew a Super Bowl.
And also McVay was. Did you know much about McVay at that time? I didn't know what a McVay was.
No, I didn't. I didn't know anything about Kyle Shanahan or Sean McVay during that time. I was actually also another one rooting for the Josh McDaniels, Nick Caserio combination.
Caserio, that's him.
Here
that's him.
as our GM and our head coach, because Ronbo, Nick Caserio and Bill Belichick know how to build defensive and offensive lines. That's what brought them 6 Super Bowl trophies.
That's the truth
at Foxborough. You know what I mean? And I do believe that Jimmy Garoppolo was going to be on his way here too. If those two were also going to be hired as our head coach and GM, and because Nick Caserio.
Big Show. One question though. Do you remember when Caserio said his wife didn't want to leave the New England area? Now that I think about
I remember.
that,
I remember reading that article.
Or was that McDaniel's wife? One of the wives.
I think it was one of them. I don't remember, but I really do believe Jimmy Garoppolo would have also been here if Nick Caserio and Josh McDaniels were going to be our coach and GM, because Nick Caserio drafted Jimmy Garoppolo, and it's familiar with him, and so is Josh McDaniels.
Because Jimmy already knows the offense too. So that's
exactly.
Double.
And he was going to, and if those two were to take over, if Bill Belichick retired in New England, then Jimmy Garoppolo would have been Tom Brady's heir apparent. Yeah. That's what they drafted him to be.
Oh.
And Bill didn't want to get rid of Jimmy at the time, but Tom's crybaby little
got his way.
Gets away with everything that he wants to. Got his way. You know what I mean? So I really think if we hired McDaniels and Caserio, they would have drafted an offensive line that would have kept Jimmy upright and Jimmy would have avoided injuries. Unlike with Kyle Shanahan. Now, I truly believe Kyle Shanahan ruined Jimmy Garoppolo's career. I really do believe that. You can't convince me otherwise, and I think you agree with that, Ronbo.
No, wait, I missed it. Say it again. You say what?
I said I think Kyle Shanahan has ruined Jimmy Garoppolo's career.
Yeah, no, and as I said, when I just said, you mentioned that, I said, you know what? Jimmy would have came over and looked pretty much in 2017. He'd still look like that.
He would have still looked like that with Josh McDaniels and Nick Caserio.
That's what he looked like when he came to us. And then Kyle changed him and said, okay, here's what I want you to do. And that's what we're seeing now. And Jimmy's catching 100% full hardcore hell about it. But Jimmy's a trooper and loyal, and he does what he's told, and that's hard to find. So, hats off to him. I feel bad for him, though, but we'll see.
And unfortunately for Kyle, as candid as he was in this interview, he just opened a whole can of new worms, Ronbo. I truly believe that the relationship between Jimmy Garoppolo and Kyle Shanahan is tarnished. They can say darling the media all they want to, but let's be real. There's no relationship there anymore after what Kyle Shanahan said about him winning and being pissed off the Rams got Matthew Stafford.
And isn't that vicious?
Kyle Shanahan.
That would do it for me too. It is. You couldn't. You had to say that so embarrass JG like that. Was that necessary? It's just a podcast.
After going out multiple times saying Jimmy Garoppolo is our guy, that's a lie. That's bullshit. We all know that. I mean, there were some fans that were gullible enough to believe that, but we all knew that wasn't the truth. Kyle Shanahan wanted Kirk Cousins and moped for 3 months because he didn't get his quarterback.
I do remember that too. He hadn't made up his mind, and even said he hadn't made up his mind going into 2018. He didn't really want to do that. I don't know if he wanted to do that contract or not, but rumor was that he did like Jimmy in college, but it didn't mean it was translated to now. Kirk Cousins was still his favorite quarterback on the planet. So it really is strange.
He waited for Kirk Cousins, the word on Kirk Cousins' availability, and missed out the opportunity to draft Deshaun Watson and Mahomes. And that doesn't sit well. That doesn't sit well with me, Ronbo. I am sorry, but I really, I really think that this move this year was a panic move to try and band-aid that 2017 draft up. Because this is a make or break year for what anyone says, it's a make or break year for Kyle Shanahan. I don't care how long his contract says he's here for. If this does not pan out, Ronbo, it's going to be bad
Okay,
news all over
it
again. for
depends
us.
how it doesn't pan out, though. If the guys start dropping like flies again, Jed will probably look at that and say, is it Kyle? Is it you, or what is it though? I've got to make a decision here. You understand my position, don't you? And Kyle's gonna. I wonder what Kyle would say to that.
And I
wow.
believe, I really believe that McDaniels and Kasurk would have been a little bit more aggressive than Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch have been so far this year in their tenure as 49ers head coach and GM. I believe they would have pulled the trigger on Khalil Mack, Odell Beckham Jr., all those names that we were linked to being interested in, and they would have given up. They would have no doubt. They would have known, or no doubt would have made the move.
Well, you would think so. I mean, how do you miss on all those picks? And how bad do we need Odell Beckham Jr.? We didn't have any one receiver.
We didn't have a single damn receiver, Ronbo.
We're just now getting worthwhile receivers.
We only have two right now.
Yeah. And
two,
they're
and we
young.
need 6.
One's a rookie. One's a junior. It's just really, it's been rough as far as receivers go. So I hope this works out because we drafted running backs, lots of them. Kyle, why don't we need a speed merchant to take the top off the? Okay, well, you're Kyle. You know what you're doing. Who am I to argue? God.
Ronbo, I'm gonna break your back on this one. Do you know who we could have drafted in 2017 instead of Trent Taylor?
Who?
Chris Godwin.
Oh, show. You're killing me. You know what? We're out of time though. But that's a nasty note in. Wow, they didn't know. Adam Peters didn't know, or did he get overruled? Okay, wow. 5th round.
All right.
Godwin. Good stuff.
Yeah.
As usual. Show.
Godwin was like 4th or 3rd round, I think. Okay. But yeah, we still could have gotten him. I mean, come on.
Best
you know how many
guy
misses they've made since they've been here.
Yeah.
If this doesn't pan out, Kyle and John, be prepared to hear the wrath of the 49ers fans.
Oh.
But I'm fully confident that Trey Lance is going to do well as long as we keep continuing to build around our offensive line, which we have did the past couple of years with our depth and everything.
And Kyle takes that leash off his neck and let him play.
Exactly. Anyway. Let Trey be Trey. Do not control your quarterback anymore, Kyle. Do not ruin this quarterback like you did Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, so we're going to see you tomorrow, Val, if you got a time. All right.
All right. Take care.
Night.
Shout out to TNT fam. Y'all have a great night. All right. Take care.
Night, Joe. Hey, let's go back and check in on Jay, who sounds like he was in the middle. Jay's probably a cop. Maybe he was making a bust at the time. Only thing I didn't hear is, hit the pavement right now, face down, don't you move. Hey, Jay. It's early, too. It's not like I made him wait. We came to him early because we know he's out in Tennessee. And what happened here? Chase, he's sawing logs. On a Sunday night. Hey, Rick.
Ronbo. What's up, Champ?
Rick, man, we're sitting there, man. We're going over some of the things that Kyle just spilled the milk all over the place during that podcast. And like Show mentioned, his relationship with Jimmy G, I don't know how bad it's been going into that podcast, but it is all the way doo-doo now. But Jimmy G's a professional, and one thing about him, he remains on that same plane, so he's probably not taking anything Kyle said seriously. He's just go out and do his job and make for his future because he knows it's not in San Francisco. And then Kyle ups and says, Sean, man, if you'd have been after Julio, man, I was in on that. So, I was just waiting. Kyle, you had money to go for Julio? Okay. And then the last thing, I almost didn't go to the 49ers interview. Kyle, Is there anything else? They probably didn't broadcast the whole everything. Kyle probably said some other things. Yeah, I've had pretty much about enough of Jed's wife, too. If I go to another party and she comes over and asks me the question she asked me again, I'm just going to go ahead and tell her and Jed. That would have been awesome, wouldn't it? Kyle, is there anything else? But anyway, was Kyle, and pretty much he was the people's choice. There was a few people that didn't like Kyle or didn't want Kyle back then. Between Josh McDaniels, Kyle Shanahan, and we didn't know anything about McVay, but somebody maybe should have. I wonder if anybody back then, nobody said anything about McVay back in 2017 amongst the fans. I never talked to anybody who says, yeah, we should have got McVay. Even after the Rams got McVay, nobody said anything about it. They just said, McVay is Kyle's junior or something like that, right? So I didn't pay much attention.
Yeah, that's his little BI. That's his little BI.
You're right. So I didn't take that seriously. No. So, are you happy with the choice of Kyle Shanahan even to this hour? And I figured at this point we can ask that question.
Ronbo, come on now. You talking to me.
I know. You didn't have the other choice, and you're satisfied then.
I'm a faithful one. Come on.
Yeah.
You must got me confused with a hater, man. Come on, Ronbo.
Kyle's
I thought you
brilliance.
knew me, dog.
I just want because I ask everybody that question just to lead you in.
You're testing me, huh? You testing me.
No,
Hey, on the Julio Jones thing, first of all, man, Kyle is just BSing, and anyone who takes any meaning into that is they're not right up in the brain because
it's Sean he's talking to, exactly.
They can't afford them, and they don't have any draft picks. I mean, so wow.
Well, same thing with Stafford. Kyle, what were you going to do? I still wonder. You get the 2 draft picks you gave up. You were going to give them to Detroit. And did you know that the Rams paid Detroit some money to take golf off their hands? Were you going to do the same thing? The Rams were going to beat you on that.
No.
Jed wasn't going to pay Detroit take. Yeah.
Kyle is not stupid. That's up to little McVay Jr. Everybody got to remember that McVay and the LaFleurs, they all came up underneath Kyle.
True.
Kyle gave them the little soda pop money, popcorn money, and got them on their way. Had them put money in their pockets and made them feel good. Yep. And they peep game and they learned and they made something out of themselves, which is good for them. But come on, Ronbo, we got Kyle. How can you have Ronbo and then like, oh no, we want a Grand Cone. Man, get the hell up out of here with all that there.
Okay, that's
Get the hell up out of here with all that there. Come on, man. Hey, and the only reason that he said that he almost didn't do the interview, right? Because he was like oversleeping. That man was tired. He was trying to do the Super Bowl logistics. He had so much time. That San Fran was not his only interview.
Option. Yeah.
So he had a hectic schedule going on, and that man was tired. The man was tired. He said that they were ringing on his doorbell. He was at his draw zone. He had to throw some water in his head. Had to throw some water in his head, throw his clothes on, open the door, and said, "Let's go." Which,
it's rough.
But, that man's a pro. That man's a pro, and I thank God we got him. And without Kyle, we wouldn't have any of the players that we have. We might have struck out on some.
Well, no,
but
you know what?
We wouldn't have the team that we have now.
It would be completely different.
So right. You can't say, we would have had Alvin Kamara, or we would have had this and that. Man, get the hell out of here. This ain't fantasy football. Come on, this is the real deal. And we got a salary cap that Kyle, he honors that. He honors that, and he does right by the team. He does right by the red and gold, by not mortgaging our future too much, like little McVay. So he's going to do the right thing.
Yeah, because McVay
and he did the right thing. He did the right thing. And Jimmy's going to do the damn thing. It was only because he was injured, and he's like, I love Jimmy, but he was injured. Injured, good. I mean, as much love as I got for Jimmy, he had to go get a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
And then he saw the chance, and he took it. He jumped up for a starting quarterback.
And plan for the future. Well,
yeah, that's what we got trained today. But Jimmy's going to do the goddamn thing and prove all these little haters wrong.
Well,
all these little haters wrong. And I'm going to be the first one. I'm going to pull this shit up on YouTube, Ronbo, and I'll say, hey, look, Ronbo, remember when everybody was hating on Jimmy G? And now he's out here doing the damn thing.
You know,
the man got hurt. The man got hurt, and he messed up his ACL because he wanted more yardage. He wanted more. That's
so
a
I
winner.
keep telling people.
That's
why
he came back for the second ankle sprain early because he wanted to win.
Trying
and that's
to
what people
win.
Can't understand.
Thank you.
That's what people can't understand. How you going to handle
a player trying to get hurt
that's what these
for our
sake,
trying to win? No, I'm not going to hate
That's what these scrubbing-ass haters can't understand. And they get mad because I call them not faithful. You know what? I'll tell them to their face they ain't faithful. And I won't give a damn about it because they ain't going to do shit.
Sound like me.
And it's true. Everything that I'm saying is true. Everything that I'm saying is true. And Jimmy's going to do the damn thing this year and prove all these haters wrong. And he's going to prove Ronbo correct. Because you're the one who led the flagship because you're not disloyal. Because you don't turn a blind eye because when someone's struggling or get hurt, because you are a class act, and because you lead the flag, you lead the way, and you are a hater repeller. That's why everybody gets on them, but they don't have the balls to say anything to you.
Oh, they do.
But I'm with you.
In Twitter, it gets ugly. Yeah, but it's all right.
They can kiss my ass.
Yeah.
I don't know about Twitter. I'm old school. I'm like more face to face. But
JJ, Rick, I'm loving you, man.
I only got on YouTube because of you. Because of you, champ. And everyone, if anybody don't like it, I'm going to track you down. We're going to Silicon Valley.
I'd rather see my
dog.
You. He likes
and we're going to throw a Jimmy G T-shirt jersey on your hating ass. And then your mama and your daddy going to be saying Niners and ooh la la. Hit them lights, man.
Thanks, Rick.
Hit them lights. This man is the truth. And he don't got a hating bone in his body. The hell with all y'all. We out, Robo.
Thanks, Rick.
Late.
I tell you, looking for you tomorrow if you get some time. Appreciate you, fam. All right.
I got you, man. Late.
All right. It's a good thing I'm not lighter complexion. You would see how red I am, other than this shirt. God. Okay. Anyway, there's from Tennessee, home of the Grand Ole Opry. It's Papa Dragon. Pop, his name should have. Pop should have had that.
Oh, let's get real Ronbo.
Pop, you should have had that name in high school. So when they announced names coming onto the field, people would have just lost it. You couldn't be Papa Dragon in high school. You could be Junior Dragon. No, little Dragon.
No, it took a while for me to become Papa Dragon because, when essentially my daughters were born on the Chinese New Year, so their zodiac sign is dragons.
Oh.
They're twin dragons.
Wow.
That's what
you got
made me
twins
Papa Dragon.
even.
And my wife, Mama Dragon.
Wow.
Yeah. My first and only were twins.
Wow. Well, you know what? You probably said that
Yeah, I did.
Okay, we got enough.
No, actually, it's kind of funny because I had them when I was 42, so I didn't think my stuff worked no more.
Pop, too much TMI, Pop. God. Oh.
It's one of the reasons why I retired early because so I could stay home and take care of them. But
right.
Hey, God is good.
Well,
you know what God gave me?
Mm-hmm.
God gave me Shanahan.
Yeah, good.
God bless him. He gave me Shanahan. He gave me Garoppolo. He gave me Jimmy Ward.
Yeah.
You see, being a 49er fan, it's like family. It's like family, but it's like the Fast and Furious family, right?
Yeah.
They could be trying to murder you in one movie, and the next movie they're your bro. So
that's the truth.
It's the straight up truth, isn't it?
The Rock versus what are the names in that movie? With they staged one
Oh,
of the
that
best
Hobbs.
fights. Hobbs and
Yeah.
I couldn't stop laughing during that
No,
fight.
it's like that one movie. The next movie, they're bros.
Yeah.
But it's like that with players and 49er fandom and stuff like that.
True.
You know, I like to look at the psychology of football players. And like I said, man, you know, I've known so many, and I still know quite a few. And you know, big shout out to the Clark family because you know, Greg Clark passed on us at 49. He was a really good tight end for us.
They said he had
and
CT.
of course,
What's in that condition from football players? A CT? Is it CTE or what is it?
CTE, yeah, CTE.
That's so sad.
You know, but yeah, it's horribly sad. But you know, life is rough. You know, it is way rougher than you know what 49er fans actually go through. And the 49ers are fortunate because they got some of the best fans in the world. Period. I've known what it's like to be like a Philadelphia Eagles fan.
Go ahead.
Detroit Lions fans are one of the worst fans. Philadelphia Eagles fans are some of the worst fans. You know, being born and raised in Detroit, but you know, so I've seen a lot of bad coaching and organizations run really badly. But I've always had a philosophy, and that's why I listen to the show. I love listening to the show and listen to everyone's opinions and feedback. But it's like, you know, you're sitting there saying, oh, well, we could have drafted Godwin or we could have done this, and I blame this for that, blame this
Hindsight
for that. That's not how the real world works.
2020.
That's not how football works.
True.
You know, when it comes to football, it's like you lose your job if you blow assignments. You don't lose your job if your coach don't like you. That's not how it works. If you blow assignments, you're going to lose your job. If you can't practice or if you can't play, you're going to lose your job. And there's nothing more straight up than just that. You know,
a business. It's a business.
In my opinion, when it comes to successful football teams, it starts at the top. You got to have 5 pieces that be consistently viable as a team. In most cases, you got to have a owner who's top notch. You got to have a GM. You got to have a head coach. You have a quarterback. Those top four pieces are all leadership pieces, and your 5th one is a defense. And usually your defense is led by somebody really dope, really dope. Like look at Ray Lewis. The dude was dope. He wasn't even that good at the end, but he was so dope. He made everybody else better. You see what I'm saying? So right now, since the Yorks took over and undid all the good work that DeBartolo's done, they've been kind of learning on the job. And they've had some bad firings and they've had some bad hirings. And I only put one team close to them. Well, 2 teams, the Jets and the Lions. Okay? And when they get it right, they find a way to torpedo it. Right?
But Papa, can
they
you not?
Do. I'm just saying.
But please don't put us in the boat with the Lions. That's really embarrassing.
I'm not trying.
I understand your point, though.
It is, though. But that's how dark days happen. I mean, you know, it's been a minute. 94 is a long time ago, Ronbo.
Yeah, sure was.
A long time ago. You see what I'm saying? So moving forward, it's like sometimes things are what they are. But I do remember when they were looking for coaches. And the coaches that I like the most at the top of my list, and again, I'm not right all the time. I'm probably right half the time because I really like Adam Gates. He's a bum. But the thing I hated the most about the 49ers is that they just got away from the tradition of being a 49er, period. Yeah. And they just, the Yorks continue to do it. Right. You see what I'm saying? It's like everyone in our division ran the West Coast offense but us.
Yeah,
that's not how it's
that was going on for a while. You know, thank you, Kyle, for
bringing
it back.
That was going on for a while. Right. So when you know, I remember when obviously the Baalke thing happened, and then there was Tom Sula, and then there was Chip Kelly. Each one of those times there was a coach that was there for the taking, and they didn't take it. And when they finally called him, they called him after they fired Chip Kelly. The coach they called was Mike Shanahan. And Mike Shanahan said interview, he said, what are you talking to me for? Talk to my son. Yeah, I was hoping for Mike Shanahan, and I was hoping that he would bring along
his son,
and then they would have like a succession. Yeah, they have a succession situation.
Pop, we're going to run out of time. Pop, we're going to run out of time. But listen, the year before, didn't Mike Shanahan offer to come on back? And also, what's the guy that won in Seattle and was also with the 49ers years ago? And also a Green Bay
Mike Holmgren.
Yeah, I lost my mind when they told Holmgren to forget about it. We're not interested. Trent Baalke, you idiot.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
You know what? Pop, we got to go because we're going to leave here shortly. But again, you always bring it the good stuff of tomorrow night. We need to get you on for an hour one time, let you get all your stuff out. So we'd have to have a private show for that, or a one-man show that day. But let me see tomorrow, will you? And put a bookmark on where you are now. All right?
Oh, yeah. I'll put a bookmark in it, man. Niners all day. Shout out to production. And I know millions of you guys are watching out there, so make sure you hit like and subscribe.
Thanks, Pop. Appreciate you, fam. Have a great night.
All right, brother.
Yeah.
Good work. All right.
There he goes, Papa Dragon. And we just found out the dragon comes from, he's got 2 baby girls born in the Chinese zodiac during the year of the dragon. Hey, John.
Ronbo.
John, Ultimate 49ers Report, John, to be exact. John, come on, get here, man. And these are kind of subjects I love to hear your input on because, Kyle Shanahan has, as Big Show said, I don't know if Kyle did the right thing. But Kyle says, I'm a grown man. I'll do what I want to do. I understand that, but, that was kind of crazy, that whole thing. And then we find out all this stuff suddenly. I wish I'd have known that way back. I probably would have appreciated it even more if I'd have know that, we almost didn't get Kyle, because he was like really worn out and tired. He was spent from the Super Bowl, so we're lucky we got Kyle. I probably would have appreciated it even more back then. But now I hear it, damn, really? I thought he was coming over to gun-ho to be the 49ers coach. And he kind of was after he got here. But, John, we were lucky, really lucky, more lucky than I knew. And then, John, your feeling, did you appreciate Kyle Shanahan back then? Do you still? And do you think we would have been better off with McDaniels or possibly McVay or any other coach that you may have had in mind even then?
Back after, like in the 2015 and 2016 debacle that Jed York put back Tom Sula, to coach that team. And then the only reason why Chip Kelly was brought in because everyone thought Chip Kelly's offense, if he had the right quarterback.
True. That's
why they brought Chip Kelly in. And Chip Kelly, excuse my language, was a piece of shit. He got fired. He got fired from the Eagles. The stupid things that he did, like he pissed off the owner so bad, telling that, on Mondays, all my 52 players are going to drink these protein shakes. On Tuesday, we're going to do this.
Yes.
And then Jed York, basically like a few days after Chip Kelly got fired, he brought him in. And he already had a bad reputation, and so everybody I was probably the only person that was screaming at the TV, and I wanted to break something when we brought him in. But everyone was saying, he's going to make Kaepernick better than Marcus Mariota. That didn't work out.
John,
so we lose like so many games in a row.
John, backtrack just a little though. You just said something. I just remembered something. Was Chip Kelly? Did he have some problem with black ball players? What? Why do I remember that? And he learned to communicate better, and that's why he acted the way he did. By the time he got to San Francisco, Chip had shot himself in the foot with the Eagles by maybe saying some things to a few players of color. And that's all coming back now. Remember that. Okay, we'll go ahead.
Yeah. Chip Kelly was an asshole to his players. He traded away the Deshaun Jackson, the running back. He tried to put Michael Vick, running Marcus Mariota. Dude was a moron. I'm sorry, he was a moron. And I don't know what the heck, Jed York was thinking. So when we brought in Kyle Shanahan, which at the time, he was the hottest coach that everybody wanted, the teams who needed coaches. And, like even the Rams wanted him. But for some reason, they chose Sean McVay for some reason. At the time, I thought, I think this guy's going to be out of the league. And I was wrong about that. But one thing that everybody was talking about was Mike McDaniels from the Patriots. He was scheduled an interview, and then he just backed up and just said, I don't want to come to San Francisco. I want to stay over here. Then he did the same thing the following year with Indianapolis. So I think he wants to take over that job in New England. So, screw him. But when Kyle Shanahan came over, I was very excited. The problem that Kyle Shanahan has done since he got here is that he has not made the decisions that we have wanted. Like, everyone talks about Kirk Cousins, but I just saw something a few months ago. Kyle Shanahan never called a play for Kirk Cousins when Kirk Cousins was in Washington, because when Kirk Cousins took over the job in 2014, Kyle Shanahan was in Cleveland. So it's so funny for whoever said that. And you want to know who made Kirk Cousins a really good quarterback was Sean McVay. So it really shows you that, all these Kirk Cousins stuff, wherever it came from, it was never true because he never had the opportunity to coach them in a regular season game. So one of the things that I have said about this regime is that we have the best play caller in the NFL. But when it comes to his head coaching, I give him a C- because he doesn't know how to oversee everything that a head coach is supposed to do. You look at all the best head coaches in the NFL, they're not like, all right, I'm just going to do special teams because I'm a special teams guy. The Baltimore coach, he's a special team specialist, but he knows how to oversee his entire 53-man roster. Bill Belichick is a really great defensive guy. He's won so many Super Bowls, and even though they give Tom Brady the credit because Bill Belichick knows how to coach defense, but he knows how to oversee because he has McDaniels as his offensive coordinator. So Kyle Shanahan has to start to realize that there's a reason why you have an offense and a defensive coordinator. He has to not, take over the offense. So one thing that he has to start doing, this is his 5th year now, and if he continues the same pattern, as a 49er fan who has seen so many losing seasons, there's a reason why 49er fans get so pissed off every time a new season starts. This is going to be the year. It starts off okay, and then, boom, it goes down the drain. So that's the reason why, how I see the coaching situation is that if Kyle Shanahan screws up and, he has another losing season and, that whole thing is scrapped up again, we're going to start all over again. And we don't know who's going to be the coaches who we're going to bring in, whatever happens. So basically, this is the year. This is the year that basically it's either going to be, we're going to have success down the road, or we have to be like, all right, what is the real issue? Because McVay, who's a young dude, took over a team. Yes, they had really good players. The quarterback was really sloppy that first year when he was with Jeff Fisher, but he took a situation and just rolled with it. Wow, Kyle Shanahan has been building, the team from the ground up. But one thing that's always hurt the 49ers has been the injuries. So that's the only thing that we have to stop. And I think it doesn't matter how you feel about the quarterback situation. Whoever that quarterback is, there's also going to be a potential that quarterback could get hurt, because it doesn't matter who's going to be there. All our players, injuries suck for the 49ers, and it's just been our luck.
And may it please stop. Oh my God. Anyway, Johnny, awesome stuff as usual. Let's see it off. Since you're we're lucky to have you, because Johnny's busy, man. Makes time for us. Johnny, I'll tell you, we'll be back tomorrow night and see what's going on, okay? He's 49ers Ultimate Report.
Yeah, right.
Check him.
Yeah, 49ers Ultimate Report. Check out the channel if anyone's interested. I also do my own content. And of course, Ronbo, thanks for having me on. Hit those like buttons. Shout out to all the good 49er faithfuls in the chat going after those Raider fans and all those Cowboys and whatnot, saying dumb things. And, of course, Niners all day.
Thanks, man. Have a great night, too. There he goes. My dude, Johnny. It's Tony. Tony!
What's up, Ronbo?
Tony, how you doing, man? It's like, it's go time. I'm looking at your quarterback. All the teams on this list knew the Super Bowl 56 is just a pipe dream. And I see Matt Ryan's photo first. NFL media, also the wide receiver in Chicago hasn't been signed. What's cooking in Atlanta, too, while we're getting on? And did the 49ers make the right choice by hiring Kyle Shanahan? I ask you that because you would be the perfect person to ask, because some of the things we're knowing about Kyle Shanahan via that little conversation he had the other day, some of us are kind of, I don't know what to think anymore about Kyle. He has a right to think the way he does. But, some things should not be aired out in the laundry. I could be wrong. Maybe it's good that he exposed himself in that fashion. But what are you thinking?
Well, are you saying like maybe he second guessed himself in 2 Super Bowls?
At some point, that's got to leave a scar on a man, doesn't it? Wouldn't you think?
Yeah. Because your Niners and my Falcons are so close.
Mm-hmm.
So close.
Minutes to go.
Don't change what you're doing. You're trying to. I think maybe he may have overthinking things. At least I know in our Super Bowl, we started out the game running the football. Devontae Freeman had 74 yards at halftime. You know how many yards he had in the second half?
How much?
11.
Yeah, I was watching that game too.
Yeah.
Like everybody else.
I mean, I'm over it. I'm trying to move forward. I'm over it. But when he said what he said, like I said, it ticked a lot of people off on our live chat Friday night in Atlanta. But, man, get over it and move on. It's not going to change now. I mean, we had several opportunities to win that game. Even after we punted the ball to New England on their 9-yard line, you got to make stops, man. You get them getting a 4th down where they got to go for. You stop them, the game over.
He's a very, complex thinking man when it comes to game of football. With Kyle Shanahan, when I looking through his lens, Kyle looks at the game as a science. This is what makes him so, but this is also, he doesn't know when to tone it down and be simple.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So that's the worrisome thing.
Guys had like a 10-point lead, in that 4th quarter.
I think 7 minutes.
And you guys didn't run the ball.
Something else, too, that's really funny, because if Jimmy connects on that, do you know there was over a minute left on the clock when the Chiefs would have got that ball back? This is why when everybody assumes that was the game-winning shot, it may have not have been. Our defense, I don't know what happened, but somebody said they were exhausted because we were 3-and-outing too much. But, I wonder if they could have held Mahomes for over a minute.
With that D-line, yeah, I kind of think so. I'm really looking forward to this season. I know you probably heard about our backup linebacker we signed, Bacavius Mingo.
That name. Tell me about Mingo, because I've heard the name, but what's his claim to fame?
He was a 1st-round pick by the Browns in 2013. That's his only claim to fame. He's been with several other teams. He was with the Bears last year. We signed him. We just released him last night. There's some charges about him doing some sexual things to a boy.
I didn't mean to laugh, but I didn't expect you to say that. What is?
Yeah, so we got rid of him, man. We only paid him. We signed him a couple months ago. He was going to be our backup outside linebacker and play special teams. We signed him 1 year, 1.25. So the NFL says we get that money back because that's conduct detrimental to the team.
So yeah, I don't know. And then you look at the Chiefs edge rusher. He decided, I'm gonna carry an Uzi with me down this road, and somebody said it was suspect how they pulled him over. But damn it, man, you're as high profile as huh? Second time?
That's the second time. Remember the first time they caught him at the airport with a gun.
That's right. See,
Frank Clark
doing an Alden Smith. You can't carry around weapons like that, man. Now when you're going out, if you can't do nothing else, stay home then. If you're so scared to be on the streets. They say you could go to jail.
This is Scarface. We walk around with your weapon all the time and nothing happens.
And talk about, say hello to our little friend. Hey, your little friend just going to send your butt to jail. Now what? This doesn't make any sense. Stupid.
Exactly. You get that money, you need to act right. Act like you got some sense. Instead of acting like you don't have any sense.
Well,
I don't know.
This is why. Remember, I think it was, how many years ago? A few years ago. What's the wide receiver the famous wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings? He was holding, and they got rid of him for some reason. He was holding like introductory sessions for kids coming out of school and trying to segue into the NFL. They canceled the program. I'm not sure if any of those guys it was reaching, because you got a lot of kids that come from backgrounds where having money was something they never imagined. And now you're giving a kid millions of dollars. He doesn't know how to act. So he ends up getting himself into trouble. And we've seen that time and time again. And I don't want to make this this is not a racial thing, but you know what really kills me, Tony? 9 out of 10 times, no, it's 10 out of 10 times, it's always the black kid that gets in trouble first. And it's not just little, it's always huge trouble. And I said, I really wish we had a way to help those kids out of school, get them settled down, make them understand.
I just hope now that they're going to start paying the college kids in college football, that some of them don't start getting in trouble.
No, but you know what, though? Maybe at that age, your mama's still involved. Maybe. It may be a good time to go ahead and monetize their little butts so they can learn, okay, this is what $1 can do for your life. This is what this can do. Because you live on the dark side if you want to. You still run with your boys and getting that little stupid stuff they're getting into just because you want to be with your boys. But, the thing of the matter is, you're not that. You worked hard to be who you are. Let's go ahead and be you.
Yes, and don't take that hard work can go down the drain if you do something stupid. But Ronbo, you said something. I'm going to talk to you real quick about the NCAA. I call them NCAA, you know what.
Yeah.
But now they're going to start paying these kids. You know what? They're going to start charging them if they don't have scholarship. If they got a scholarship, that's one thing. But they're going to start charging those kids for those payments on room and board and stuff like that. And I could be wrong, but I just don't trust them, the NCAA.
And I
don't trust them.
And they make so much money. They got people in administration that are making several $1 million a year. It's just, that's a money maker. I don't wonder when the college ranks. I think their money's matched up only second to the NFL. And yet they just abuse and take advantage of those youngsters that are trying their best to make their dreams come true.
And remember, in the big power conferences, most of those college stadiums are bigger than NFL stadiums, so that's more money.
With $100,000 person capacities, I know, right? It's crazy.
Yeah. That's even more money. So
And you know the
NCAA, they've
alumni.
been hypocrites with that.
And how rich are the alumni around most of the universities in America? The bucks are big. I heard about, mind staggering, because they want to have control over some of the decisions made. So then, wow, if they ever make a movie about the dark side of the NC2A, people could be mad as hell if they tell the truth during the movie.
I'll be laughing because I already know the truth. Yeah.
Tell you, Tony.
Expose them.
Tony, we're gonna go. Always stimulating conversation. I'll see you tomorrow. Be back tomorrow evening.
Yes, sir. And on that Cowboy chat I got on late Friday night,
okay,
they had members only, so I couldn't get on to type anything. But I got on last night. I said, "Why did y'all do that?" I typed. They wouldn't answer the question. Why did they do members only? So those Cowboy fans are so silly.
It's they're very sensitive, and they should be. All right,
They
Tony.
should be. Yes. Talk to you tomorrow, sir.
Looking forward. Have a great night.
All right, you too.
Oh God, members only. Huh? I bet you Texas. I wonder if Texas boys are a part of that group. Emilio. Wait. Emilio.
Hello, Ronbo. What's happening?
Emilio, I'm glad you called in tonight, because if anybody has an opinion on Shanahan, I know you got a clear one, man. And him saying the things he said during that conversation. Now, I'm knowing now, from now on when Kyle Shanahan speaks, I'm gonna think more. When Child talks now, my thinking process is gonna go a little further than it used to. You know, I'm gonna analyze what he says and dissect it and overthink it. Probably the man has got people going. I think he's an awesome coach, but that boy, man, his mind is like, wow, okay, that's how you feel about that? All right.
Well, you got to think about it. That's that man's MO. He says certain stuff so people can talk. It doesn't matter if it's the fans, the media. I would, over the years, and knowing him, he's more the guy that I'm going to say something so people can talk about me. Even if it's in a good way or bad way, or just have him in my mind.
You think he's got that kind of ego?
The whole Mac Jones thing,
see that.
the Matt Stafford, him canceling his interview. He just all he's doing is getting the media to talk about him.
Does he like attention?
Good way, bad way.
Guess he does.
It's starting to look like he wants the attention.
I thought he was kind of avoid it. I guess not.
Nah, not saying stuff like that. He's not. You could tell he's looking for attention. He wants to be the center of attention. It just his thing. He just needs to win, really have more than one winning season on his belt. I like the guy, but it's getting to the point where, like, come on, man. I know partially it's not your fault, but yeah, we need more wins, buddy. I don't care if it's the quarterback. You need to figure something out. You need more wins for this team. Like I said, I didn't say that before because it irritated me with the Super Bowl. He had too many chances, and I know he's not quarterbacking, but still, you set up the game plan and
remember not
you
reffing.
done other stuff to win.
Because you can't plan for the refs. For the rest of my life, I will remember 2019 and 2020, the reffing crews in both games and how they differed. Dramatically different. The Chiefs couldn't do a damn thing with the refs not blowing a whistle. When we played them, the refs act like, oh, I didn't see that. What?
But you got to realize it was a whole different reffing staff. Because there's that one guy, I forget his freaking name. He doesn't like the 49ers.
Vinovic. And I changed that name, of course.
They didn't put it past me. I said, every time he referees one of our games, I said, oh, there's a big slight chance we finna lose the game because he's gonna go against, especially when we play Seattle on certain teams. He always goes against us. I forget his name.
Bill Vinovich, and there's another guy too. That dark-haired guy with the muscles, and his son is.
No, it's not him. No, not him. He's just more. I forgot his name. But he's just more of a. He likes blowing his whistle on anybody. So I don't blame him. But it's the one guy, his name I know. When I see him, I know who he is. Every time he referees a game,
we done.
It's us on there. I said, oh, it's going to be a long. I said, yep, we either got to put up the score or make sure this game does not go to the wire because it doesn't happen.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when that one Seattle game, we, late hit on Russell Wilson a couple of times. I'm like, come on. Man.
Right, the linebacker hit him under the chest, right? Right just below his pads. That's what I'm talking about. Fam, what was that referee that just retired about 3-4 years ago? That's who we're talking about. Maybe 5 years now, and his son is in the league. Anybody in the chat know his name? Give me that name. But go ahead, Emilio.
But anyway, this is certain games, certain ways. But back to Shanahan. He just likes the attention either way. Him one way or another, it doesn't matter, good or bad. He wants to be the center of attention. I think with him, he just wants to be a branch of like, oh, this is the reason this coaching staff happens because of me. And you think about Sean McVay, he's coaching down there because of me. So he wants that tree. Like think about like Bill Walsh and all these other guys branched out. So I think he wants to do that. But dude, if you want that to happen, you got to start winning too, because then this doesn't really help you. Of course, your offense is branching out. But you need to start winning some Super Bowls and have more winning seasons under your belt if you want to be one of those future Hall of Fame coaches.
True. Did you always want Shanahan? Because you know how everybody's talking about, no, man, I want McDaniels. I remember that year. I was like, man, I don't want no McDaniels. Man,
it was either way. I mean, I wanted Daniels, but then I wanted Shanahan because I'm like, well, his dad coached the team, so I'm like, no, and then he's been having success with different teams as an offensive coordinator. So I'm like, well, why not give him a shot? So it didn't really matter. I mean, it kind of didn't because it was at the point where like, Chip Kelly, had his moments up and down, really couldn't do nothing. He was a puppet, and Tom Sula was a puppet, so it didn't really matter at that point. Since Harbaugh, we didn't really have no coaches, so.
Emilio, I got the name. GB Bull, thank you. Ed Hockley. Remember that fool? That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Hockley.
Well, no, not him, but that's the one isn't that the one with the muscles, right?
Yeah. Hockley was
no, it's not him, no. But he was one of them, but he's more, I know him with him, he's the one that, he just likes blowing his whistle. He's a whistleblower, so no, not him. But I just know he's more by the book. I know he's a whistleblower. Yeah. But it's just the one that's recent, the one that the referee likes Super Bowl. I don't know his name. That's that guy. He didn't do a Super Bowl this year, but he refereed our Super Bowl against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Well, every time he referees games, it's just like, dude, it's gonna be a long game.
If you're talking about our Super Bowl, that was Bill.
Yeah, I'm talking about our Super Bowl. Yeah, our recent Super Bowl. That
was Bill Vinovich and his crew.
Okay. Yeah, he doesn't like the Niners. Like I said, every time he referees, it's either going to be a long game or we're going to lose the game because of him. It's been shown one too many times.
Holding penalties, didn't call them all day. Helmet-to-helmet contact, didn't call all day. Dude launched Jimmy Garoppolo on the sideline into the bleachers. That wasn't unnecessary roughness or unsportsmanlike conduct. No, play ball. And shut up, Niners. And did you know that Kyle's dad walked that dude into the tunnel at the halftime all over his ass? They said that Mike walked him into the booth and was yelling. They could hear him all the way into the tunnel. And he can't do nothing to Mike. Mike is not playing. He's not coaching on the field. Well, he might be, but he can't do nothing with Mike. Mike gave him an earful. Minovich didn't care. That might have been the reason why he didn't call nothing else the rest of the game, actually. You know how referees are. They got feelings. Don't piss them off.
Yeah, you should, especially if it's a game that matters the most. Yeah, sometimes you don't want to be on their bad side because, like I said, it can go the wrong way. And you're like, oh well, hey, I'm gonna get you bad one way or another. But hey, unless you shouldn't or trying to shed points on the team, that one referee in the NBA got sued for that for shedding points and all this other stuff in the NBA. But
they only punished one out of. Don't get me started in the NBA. Emilio, we ran out of time. All right, Emilio. See you tomorrow night, okay? You're off today, too. I don't even no working going on around you.
Yeah, I'm off today.
All right, fam.
No, not today. Stay off, get to relax.
Good. You deserve that.
Yeah.
All right, fam. See you tomorrow night.
Yeah, don't we all? Okay. All right, man. You have a good night.
You too. Not a video. Okay. And Ellis, what would the day be without some Ellis? Ellis.
Brother Ronbo.
Ellis, what I like about, I mean, y'all have opinions that you can always expect something special. And Ellis, this is because you're a deep thinker too. And I know you'll tell the truth. Did you, back in 2017, when we was looking at coaches, was Kyle your first choice? And when you heard about him compared to everybody else, or was McDaniels? And were you upset that we got McVay? Because you know what? No, the Rams got McVay. I still think none of us knew anything about McVay, other than the fact that he was Kyle's student, as I used to call him. And I don't know if anybody else is available. But go ahead.
Yeah. Honestly, I was looking for McDaniels.
Okay.
I was looking for McDaniels. I was so disappointed in what he did in the Super Bowl. I was like, I was kind of at first. I was a little, shook by the news because I'm like, okay, well, he just lost, but it did just. I don't know. I kind of just bypassed and I said, okay, well, we need a coach, so let's just get it going. And I like the fact that him and John came in. I think that gave me a little bit more confidence. And so I mean, I kind of kept, I just was like, all right, let's go, let's roll with it. But yeah, I was looking for McDaniels initially.
It makes sense because there was a lot, and from what you just said, it makes sense too. Because you don't, if he lost the Super Bowl, and if you think hard enough on that, it would discourage you to some degree.
And the way he lost it.
Yeah, that's another good point.
They didn't score anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like all of the, it was just too many things that, they could discourage a person. So I was just like, damn.
Which is really weird because that was one of the most scoringest offenses in the NFL. And we did the same thing. We stopped scoring in the second half. Now, they put all the emphasis on Jimmy. But if Kyle did that in Atlanta with Julio, Taylor Gabriel, Matt Ryan, one of the best running backs in the NFL, Devontae, it's too late, Ellis. He's our coach. He's got to get better. He has got to. This year, he's got to. Don't make that mistake again. Keep your foot on the gas.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is, for Kyle, it's like he came into a team, at rock bottom pretty much already. So it's like, the years of rebuild and then what they had to go through with the draft and then making some miscues with the drafting process. I think the quarterback was the issue the whole entire time. He was, bullshitting with Hoyer and all these other guys. It was just irritating to me, man. I was just like, what is he doing? Is this like a get me by kind of, are these get me by guys? Or
it was,
it wasn't really he wasn't taking a full swing at it, at anything.
It
and
was.
Then we missed out on the Mahomes and the Watson sweepstakes, and so.
But it was all about Kirk Cousins, and that's why the wrench was already thrown into the works. If you're going to wait for Kirk and pass up on everybody in this draft, then that backfired as well. It's wow.
Yeah, and blew up in his damn face. And I'm just saying, hopefully he learned from, that because, you're cutting into your own, you're cutting into your own record, your own, your own. You know what I mean? Your name, basically, with all of this. Because if he has another season where he takes a L, I know that's not what we're doing this year, but he has to make a turnaround now. And I know we talked about it, several months back, but he's losing in the win-loss category between him and his gang, with the McVays and the LaFleurs and everything. So, I don't know, man. But I think those guys got put into a little bit better than position than Kyle. So there's some things that you can kind of, so that's what I'm saying. It's and
at this point
we make mistakes, man.
At this point, Kyle is caught up as far as talent goes, just about. And like somebody said earlier tonight, you may have been listening. It's the Rams' turn to start getting hurt. He says, I don't know what they're doing in L.A., but they ain't getting hurt.
Right. That's what they're not doing.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they're going to start taking some more initiative, and start doing some other things. Because like I was talking to you about, that technology and stuff where it shows, guys in their, it does like a full body scan of, are they overworked? Is this going on? Is that going on? It gives all these really in-depth readings on, these guys individually. And so it allows them to say, okay, this guy needs to rest. He needs to take a lighter day, because of what our readings show on this, device or whatever this technology is. So I'm just saying, hopefully, whatever it is, we're updating and we're getting more,
Ellis,
we're getting it. We're getting more. Go ahead.
I want to, and also I want to give this question to chat. Is anybody that's involved in sports medicine, is there such thing that's equal to a diagnostic, like when you go and get your car and they slip those things into your exhaust? That's a diagnostic test that tells your car where your problems are. Can they do that with bodies, humans? What you just mentioned sounds like, wow.
Yeah, Grant was talking about it a while back. Remember I was telling you he was talking to a guy and he said, he was explaining the technology. I didn't, get to get every word verbatim of what he said, but, it's basically like a diagnostic test that you're able to run on some of the players. I don't know if it's a certain type of equipment that they have to put around their body, if it's, like maybe it's like one device and they hook it up to a certain part or what. But, there's technology out there, you know what I mean, to at least, help aid.
If there
is, the strength.
They should definitely be using it.
Injury. So that's something we could definitely use if it's not already being hopefully incorporated.
Because we gotta stop getting hurt.
But a lot of stuff is we can't do, like when you break a leg, when you tear a groin, or when you tear an ACL, or or an Achilles. You know what I mean? That diagnostic thing is not gonna.
But Ellis, sometimes when you look at the meniscus tear that, what's his name had, I'll bet you that tissue was slightly frayed with Jeffrey Wilson Jr. because you don't just stand up and spin around in that tear. That was probably right on the edge. Also Tavares Moore with that Achilles. Was that Achilles ready to go? Could they have probably say, whoa, sit down, relax, you are done for this week, but we can make a repair real quick, it'll be minor, and you should be back in action in a couple of weeks, or something like that, right? Those are the things I want to know about. Soft tissue and tendons, you might be able to forecast before they happen.
Yeah, and I think another thing is, if you think about it like us as players, these guys, whenever they feel something, most of the time, they pretty much say something, but then you got guys out there that might feel a little something, but won't say nothing.
No.
Because, I don't want to play. I don't want to not be able to play. I don't want to not get paid. Or, let me just try to, hold on, let me just, let me figure this out. And I'm going to take my own approach with it. And sometimes, that can, add to that. You know what I mean? Because, we're tough guys, or we playing a man's sport. And so it's like, nah, hold on, I'm all right. If I can walk, I'm good, and you don't tell nobody. And then before you know it, you tell something, they be like, what happened? And you're like, you know what I mean?
Just gave out.
And you're probably not going to say, well, it's been feeling like this way, like this for quite some time now. But, so then you have those kind of situations. And, guys probably regret a lot of that stuff too. You know what I mean? And not tending to that. I mean, myself personally, I was one too. So.
All of us were. I'd wrap my ankle. You wrap it in, you never wrap your ankle before. Now I just want to wrap it today because, I just feel like I want to take that precaution. Really, the ankle was hurting. I did something the day before, right? And you go back out there, you still won't play because the game is coming up. How many practices you got to get in a week before the game? Coach let you know at the beginning of the season. Guys, without 4 practices, you will not play at the weekend. Oh, my God. And there you are. No! I'm playing.
Yeah.
So, Ellis,
we
done ran out of time. I'll be looking for you tomorrow night because we got Ain't No Day Complete Without My dude, Ellis. All right.
Yes, thank you, Brother Ronbo. I appreciate you greatly. And,
thank you.
As always, man, for the platform and your grace, my brother.
Thanks, man.
Thank you to the staff, production out there. Shout out to all the chat, man, all the good guys. And shout out to that guy, Tony, man. I'm glad I was able to catch you. He had shouted me out a couple of shows ago, the Falcons fan, man. He comes in here, keeps it real, respectable. He's a good guy, man. So shout out to him, man. And thank you for the shout out, fam. Peace and love. Y'all hit that like and subscribe. Yeah.
Thanks, Ellis. All right, fam. Have a good night. Yeah, Tony represents an element of fan, a rival fan or another fan that is the ideal. What we get in here is exactly the opposite. But it's okay. We got folks that meet that, and people like Larry Hoover run around talking about, we own this chat. He didn't own a damn. Hey, let's see if Jay's awake. Jay? 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 Jay stopped. You can tell the man is really tired. He stopped snoring and he just passed out. You know what's so funny about this with Jay, though? Jay, the first time I called him, it sounded like there was something crazy going on. And then the next minute, in a few minutes, at least you could hear him sleeping. Whatever that noise was about didn't take him out. My imagination always goes wild when you hear these things. Bam! I'm going to go. And, oh, wait. Let me do this, though. As the Bleacher Report title is, teams that have no chance of even thinking about a Super Bowl. And it says, long-suffering fans of the Detroit Lions will point to the tumultuous 2021 offseason as evidence that hopefully the team is breaking out of its rut. There's a new quarterback in Jared Goff after Matthew Stafford was shipped to Los Angeles, a move that landed the Lions extra first-rounders in 2022 and 23. And there's a new general manager in Brad Holmes and a new head coach in Dan Campbell, who insisted to reporters that he knows what it takes to turn the Lions around. I was reading that. I was laughing. He's going to say, look, I'm not going to sit here and kid you. You think I've got all the answers? I don't have all the answers. I'm not going to tell you that, but I know, and I'm very comfortable in my own ability and those around me, and I know what it takes to win. I do. All right, well, Mr. Campbell, you'll get your first test with us. We look forward to whatever you can do. And please, challenge us. My team needs work. Don't be powder puffing around and, at the halftime, we're playing all our second string. Maybe Trey, I'd like to see Trey early in the game. The article goes on to say the problem for Campbell and the Lions that in order to win, the Lions would first need a different football team. The one they have isn't going anywhere. The Lions do have at least one thing going for them. They've got Don Burr sitting in the stands. Top 10, big mouth. But they do have a top 10 offensive line, according to PFF. That's it, though. That's all. Fam, it's been fun as usual. Harold Murillo says, there's a company called Prasagia Sports. They provide the software and electronics to track athletes' injuries. Still researching it, but the 49ers may have to look into it. Harold, thanks. Harold, with that information, you would think the 49ers would know about that, right? It's their job. This is a very serious matter. Stop with all these injuries. And you know what I wish George Kittle would have done? He'll never do it. But George, get that patella fixed. They're going to hit that one time, and George is going to just pee all over himself. Can you imagine that kind of injury? And it gets hit just right, and it's already hanging as it is? The pain will be off the measuring chart. And he could have got that fixed. Shoot, George, if I was Shanahan, I would have suggested, George, I don't need you for the last 2 games of the season. This season is over. George, I'll give you extra. I'll do whatever it takes. I will pay you. Check into the hospital. It's January. You'll be ready to roll minutes after the draft. Get this done now. No. George said, I'm not going to get this done until after I retire. But George, that scares me more than anything. This guy is the 49ers offense, no matter who's playing the quarterback. This is George Kittle's offense. He's the guy that goes out and makes the clutch plays. He's the guy who makes sure the run game is working. He is San Francisco. And he's running around talking about, I'll get this 10-2. Probably by the time I get through playing the game, but I'm fine. George is like a throwback. The guy's an animal. He's a guy that if they made another Rambo movie, they'd have George Kittle play Rambo's sidekick. Dude's crazy. You got to love that. George actually if they make a Navy SEALs movie, George is your guy. Guy is tough. But I'm not sure if he's making the right choices here, George. We need you all season. Anyway, fam, I will see you tomorrow night. Appreciate you, fam. Hit some likes. Don't it? Hey, see you tomorrow.